Rumors spreading round in that Texas town. About to shack outside the game. You know what I'm talking about. Just let me know if you wanna go to that whole mile on the range. They got a lot of nice girls. I'm racing.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Logan Hall again, back with another grill stream. Um, Today we have a very special cook, and this is not going to be a short cook either. This is going to be one that will likely take between 3 or 4 hours. But I'm very excited to finally do, uh, as authentic as I can make it, uh, a very traditional Indian chicken dish called tandoori chicken. The reason why it's called a tandoori chicken is because the cooking vessel that you make it in is basically called a tandoor. And funny enough, it's actually kind of shaped like my uh, like my KJ out here. So I'm so quickly I'll kind of show you the setup out here and what that looks like. So let's see, camera settings, and they make this tough. All right. So anyway, so again, it's like I have my grill out here, and and again, I have everything off to one side here. So the reason why we're going to be doing it that way is because we're actually going to have the chicken on skewers, and it's going to go on this side here, and then it's going to get that direct flame hit on that side there. But there's actually quite a few things we need to do before we actually get the grilling here. So what I'll do, or actually, let me uh let me do this. All right. Also, one just sort of quick thing, I guess. Most of this will be cooked inside today. Now, I know that I normally do my grill streams outside, but basically it's been in the 30s and 40s over the past few weeks here in Nashville. It's still not quite optimal grilling weather. Um, but again, I wanted to show you guys what I have going on here too. So I'm going to turn this sideways so that you guys have a better look here. So this is what we have in store today. Kind of from right to left here, we got the skewers going here. When I finally do the plating at the end, it's all going to go in this sort of a cast iron plate here, and I'll have some, green bell pepper and some onions like for garnish, sort of as like a bed there. But then we have some red peppers. I couldn't quite find the right peppers here. For all this prep here, I actually ended up going to two different stores actually. One was like an Asian mart, and then the other was actually a specific Indian mart that I have local to me. But but again, I mean, both places, these were the best sort of red peppers that I could find. These will be used in a red chutney, and then we also have some green peppers here. I think these are a bit more, closer to the real thing. But again, that will be used in a green chutney. We have garlic here. We have some chopped up ginger here, and like a few pieces of ginger, just more for show. Some mint. Jaggery is actually like it's almost like a sweet sugar or like a brown sugar, just like in, I guess, like a sort of Indian form. But again, also going to be doing some naan again. I could have made my own here, but that would have added like another 30 minutes or like an hour to the stream, and it was already going to be, fairly long, right? So what we're going to do, we're probably just going to throw those in the oven or possibly even on the KJ, and just sort of heat those up that way. Methy seeds are basically fenugreek seeds, and we're actually going to be using that here, for, again, as one of the first things that we do. Um, but anyway, there's some specialty ingredients here. There's shot masala or chaat masala. Again, I'm not entirely sure how that should read, but anyway, that will be that is it's like a specialty spice. Basically, we have some the Kashmiri chili powder, of course, several vegetables. um so the chicken itself, I'm doing bone-in thighs as part of it, but then I also had some chicken breasts here that I wanted to cook as well. I think these will kind of be used for like my lunches for this week, and then this is more for dinner or whatever. um but anyway, they have already gone through one stage of marination. So what they currently have on them is basically a garlic and ginger paste, as well as salt, lemon juice. I mean, maybe one more thing that I'm forgetting, but anyway, I mean, it's just sort of a light marination. They have been going, covered in the fridge since yesterday evening. Um, now, there's actually a second level of marination here that we're going to be doing later. But to make that, it does require quite a bit of work here. So I think, with all that being said, let's go ahead and get started here uh, with the actual show itself. I'm going to put this chicken back here actually, um, and we will we will we will use this again a little bit later on. All right. So, first thing we should do is we need to grind up a bit more garlic and a bit more um, ginger here to make some sort of garlic and ginger paste uh, for the second marinade. So what I want to do actually, and I think I actually left my phone upstairs. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna go grab that. Oh, actually, sorry. It's right here. All right, cool. Yes, I mean, yeah, I mean, I always like to see sort of what I look like when I'm on the stream, just sort of make sure that uh that again, nothing that I don't want on the stream is again not being showed. But I'm just gonna chop off the ends of a few of these uh pieces of garlic here. Now, these are actually peeled garlic. And usually I don't buy that. You know, it's it's something that I will do if I'm doing a large quantity of garlic in something, and it's just going to cut down on time. But I'm thinking between 10 and 12 pieces of garlic here. You know, this is kind of in the way. Let's move that over here real quick. All right, you guys should be able to see that a little bit better. Again, just chopping off the ends of these. I really don't even have to do this, but again, I'm going to do it anyway. Let's get let's get a few more. No, maybe that's too much. Let's do 5 or 6 more here. By the way, sorry if you can hear my induction cooker in the background. Um, it's slightly loud, but again, we are going to use that here in just a moment for some of the red peppers, actually. All right. I think that's a good amount of garlic. Let's grab a few chunks of ginger, maybe one more. And I'm going to add a bit of salt. So I'm going to grind this off. Well, actually, I guess I could just bring this over here with you guys. So let's go ahead and plop this on. This thing is always a little bit of a pain to get sort of properly aligned and everything. Okay, let's see if that. And let's do a puree. Okay, so there we go. So they're nicely chopped, but I'm actually going to add some oil here so that it becomes more of a paste. So let me see what kind of oil. So the most authentic oil to use here would actually be mustard oil. However, I could not find that at either of the stores that I went to. Surprisingly, I got a new bottle here of canola oil, so I think that'll work. Just getting the top part off. All right. So let's pour a little bit of oil in there. Let's see if that makes that into more of a paste. Yeah, I think it's working. Yeah, so that's becoming more and more of a paste. I'm going to add just a little bit more, oil in there, and you know what? Let's actually scrape down some of the sides here too. Let's. Let's do just a little bit more oil. Yep, that's what I'm looking for. So this is our garlic and ginger paste. I'm going to put this in a little container here, and we're going to use that later. So and let me get a spoon. I see. It's not. I guess it's not quite a paste yet, but this is good enough for me. This is basically, the consistency of, again, a cottage cheese or something like that. So let's put that on here. We will use that a bit later on. And I'm just going to rinse this out because we're actually going to use it again here in a moment. All right, that's good enough for me. Then let's clean off the blade and that as well. All right. So the next thing we're going to be doing is I'm actually going to drop a few of these peppers into. Let's do. Yeah, I think that'll work. So okay. So this part isn't necessarily part of the recipe. It's more of a compromise that I have to make. And let me flip this up real quick. So I'm going to just blanch these peppers. And this is just going to be, this is just going to be for like a few minutes here. Let me see if I can get them in that. Yeah. So again, I'm only doing this for a few minutes. The reason why I'm having to do this, there was, again, there was basically one ingredient that I couldn't find, and it's basically called a Kashmiri red chili paste. Now there is, uh, so there is actually a Kashmiri red chili powder. Oh, sorry, I'm not even sure what I said. Right, but I could not find the paste for it. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to blanch just a couple of these peppers, and then we're going to blitz those in the small blender. And then what I'll probably do is I'm going to add a little bit of this chili garlic, uh, sauce basically. Again, I don't necessarily want a sauce. I want a paste. Um, so these peppers are actually going to give it a thicker consistency that I'm looking for, or at least again, that's the idea of things. Um, so Still got nobody in the chat, guys. Come on, you need some viewership here. This is good stuff. But yeah, these are just about there. So I'm gonna get a pair of tongs. Let's see, they're okay. So they are just a little bit firm still. I do want them to give a little bit when I squeeze them. So I'll give those just a moment here, and then we'll blitz those, and then we'll add just a little bit of this chili garlic sauce as well. And that paste is going to be used in the second for the second round of marination. So while this cooks here, another thing that I, again, unfortunately could not find, or maybe I just didn't know sort of what to ask for, I guess. But this is basically yogurt. There's actually quite a bit of it here. One thing that I've been trying to do is actually try to get the moisture out of the yogurt. And that would just sort of yogurt sort of drain out there in the bottom. But again, I could not find what I was looking for there necessarily. So the actual term here that you're looking for is actually called a hung curd. You can laugh, ha ha ha. But again, the idea is it's basically like a drier version of a yogurt. Now, here in the Western world, sort of anytime that we make, butter chicken or chicken chicken masala or whatever, we'll use yogurt, right? Because that's like the readily available binder that we have here in the U.S. But again, I tried to go all out and I tried to be sort of as authentic as possible with this recipe, but I could not find find the hung curd. So anyway, so I'm just going to be using yogurt here today. Um, okay, so that'll be coming a little bit later here. But let's check on these peppers again. Let's see. Yeah, so they're starting to give a little bit, which is what I want. So I think I'll go ahead and turn this off. And that's going to make this a little bit less noisy too, actually. So what I'll do, I'm going to grab, let's actually put the blade in first before I do this. You know what? I'm actually going to chop off the very top of these two first, uh, because the actual skin part isn't going to taste good. Okay, so that's what I want, but basically just the actual pepper itself, and again the seeds. Again, this is meant to be sort of a hot chicken dish. I mean, it's basically like India's version of Nashville hot chicken, I guess. Or no, not really, but again, this is supposed to be a hot dish. So anyway, so I'm just slicing these up over here on the side, and I'm putting those in here. All right, so what we'll do is I'll blitz these, and I'll bring you guys back over here too. I will blitz these in this small blender. And then what I'll do, I'll gradually add in some of that chili sauce that I showed just a moment ago. So let's lock that into place. Yeah, so that's already pretty hot. But what we'll do, let's add in just a little bit of this. Well, actually, that was a bit more than I wanted, but that's all right. So the idea again is just to make this sauce a little bit thicker. So that's nicely mixed and incorporated. I think one more thing that I'm going to try here. I have to find it first. I didn't take this out beforehand. But it's basically kind of a secret weapon that chefs will use sometimes to thicken things. Here we go. So there's generally two ways that you can thicken a sauce. One is sort of the cornstarch slurry method. And we could certainly use that here. But I think this is a great opportunity to utilize something called xanthan gum. Now, xanthan gum, again, I'm actually not entirely sure where it where it's from or where it originates necessarily, but it's basically a powder that is designed to thicken anything that's, I guess, fairly loose. So what I'll do here is I'm going to grab just a little tiny spoon looking thing. I'm going to stick some of that in there. So I'm just going to start out with a small amount and see what happens. Again, this doesn't necessarily change the taste of it. It's just going to thicken it up. So with the garlic got on there. All right. I think it's working, but it's a little bit hard to tell. So I'm gonna add in just a little bit more. I'm not gonna keep doing this until it gets, gets super thick because again, I don't want it to necessarily affect how it tastes. But let's just add just a little bit more and see what that does. Yeah, I think that is actually working. So this is here. Let me take this off. So this is the a consistency now that it's at, and I think that's closer to a paste than it was a sauce, right? Because this is clearly more loose, right? So by adding the peppers and a little bit of xanthan gum, we kind of get the paste that I was looking for. So I'm going to rinse this off real quick, and I'm going to put this in another container. I'm going to rinse off this spoon. I'll just use the same one. Let me get another container. All right. Just take the blade out. All right, so let's get our basically pepper paste, I guess is what you can call it. We'll get the pepper paste out. I mean, it could be a little bit thicker, but again, I think this is good enough. It, again, it'll it'll get the job done. And that's the main thing. Put this in the sink. So I think that's all the use of the small blender will be today. I might be wrong, but again, this is our garlic chili paste, and then we have a sort of a red pepper paste. So anyway, so let me look at my instructions here. Okay, so when I'm doing something that I've one sort of either sort of never made before, or it's something that I'm, I guess, not sort of as familiar with, then I basically will sort of type everything up and sort of have instructions. But again, there are some streams where again, I mean, I don't even have to look at a recipe ahead of time. So again, so I mean, it just depends on what I'm cooking, I guess. Let's make chili paste, several chutney red later. Um, yeah, exactly. Okay. So the next thing I want to do, let's actually turn on this pan, the smaller one here. Actually, I'm going to put you guys back there. Okay, that's a good angle. So let's turn on this pan, maybe at medium heat. So what I want to do is incorporate just a little bit more flavor into these methy seeds. Again, this isn't meth, but this is fenugreek seeds. But again, I guess methy is just the it's just like the Indian word for it. So anyway, so what I'll do is I'm going to pour some of these seeds in here. Um, I'm actually not entirely sure how much I need, but basically this is going to heat up, and then we're basically going to toast these, and then I have a mortar and pestle here that we'll use here in a moment, and then we'll crush those up. I meant to have some like the ambient music going here. Let me while this heats up here, I'm gonna see if I can get that to work. Okay, we got two folks watching here. Thank you. If you guys want to make a chat or anything, just let me know. Would be very happy to know who's watching, who hasn't. I realized that I kind of dropped off a little bit recently. I haven't really done a proper real stream in several weeks. So I get that, people might have forgotten a little bit or whatever, but uh, anyway, let me go back to what I was looking for earlier. All right. So again, I'm not even sure if you guys can hear that, but it's just a little bit of background noise because usually when I'm doing this, it's outside and you can hear the birds, you can hear all the other stuff going on here, but again, I want to toast these guys up and basically add just another flavor element to them. So once I start to see these guys smoke a little bit, I will add them to the mortar here. I could actually put that back just a little bit more. So we'll kind of toss them around a little bit too. Just make sure there's even coverage. And while that happens, I'm going to clean up just a little bit here. There's a few things I made a mess of. Sort of clean as you go, as they say, right? Cleans up that. Okay. So the only problem with me playing this music is I can't see can't see the chat or anything. So I might have to change that for later. Anyway. All right, I think these guys have probably toasted enough here. What I'll do now is I'm going to move these over here. You know, I guess I could just keep this where this is. I'm going to put these in here. And let's start with the larger end. I'm just going to kind of rotate this and apply. You know, this is going to be noisy if I keep that there. Let's move this over here. So I'm going to just kind of grind this up against the walls. Start to apply a little bit of pressure. So the weird thing is they're not really breaking up like I thought they would. But that's all right. I mean, I guess we can just use the seed version instead of the. Oh, hey Kevin. Hey man. Nice to see you, Kevin. So we're doing an Indian chicken dish today. We're doing Yogan's like it's called a tandoori chicken. And what I'm grinding up right now is I just toasted these Yogan. It's like they're called fenugreek seeds. Now the Indian call it methy seeds. Okay, there's no meth in there, but again, I wanted to see if I can get this into a powder form. But after toasting them and doing all this, they don't seem to want to break down the way that I thought they would. What I might end up doing here is let's pour these in here to my other blender. So I've got two blenders today. I got a small one and a large one. I'm actually have an even larger one than this, but it's not really necessary today. Plus, it's a pain to clean. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try blitzing them in this larger blender here. Let's get the oil out of the way. And let's just see if that has any effect on them. Oh, so there was some powder being made, but not much. So let's close this up. And I'm gonna blitz these. So I need a better lid here. Let me get something real quick. Hold on. Yeah, I mean, I know it came with a lid, but I actually just don't even know where it is. Actually, you know what? Let's use something like this. I think that would be fine. Yeah, that'll be fine. All right, let's try again. Yeah, that did what I wanted it to. Sorry if that was a little loud for you guys. Yeah, look at that. Okay. So that's what I wanted. Now we have the actual powder form of that. So I'm going to put this in yet another container. I'm gonna wash this blender out because we're gonna use this blender later anyway. All right. So here's what we're left with. This is the actual powder form of the fenugreek seeds. Again, I tried to do it with like the mortar and pestle, but I guess I just didn't have enough there. Um, do it again with no, dude, Kevin. When I did that the first time, the seeds were flying everywhere, and I'd rather not do that again. Um, all right, lids. Actually, no, that's not. Okay, now the lid's cleaned. All right. So what's next on my list here? All right. So now we're going to use the same pan that we smoked these guys in. And I'm going to bring this up to temperature. I hope I don't have another experience like I had the last time where the pan basically caught fire and the fire alarm went off and all that. But anyway, I'm going to have some oil here. You know what? I might actually use some high smoke point oil for this. Now it's grapeseed oil, and again, I know there's a big backlash against seed oils and whatnot. But again, I think again, I don't see any negative effects in my life. I don't know, but so I'm fine still using them. Um, but it may require like a little bit more research to see if they're truly bad or not. Um, so anyway, so we're gonna let this come up to temperature here. When it starts to smoke, I'm gonna take it off the heat, and then what we'll do, I'm gonna add most of this bottle here. I mean, or I've already used about 2/3 of it, but what we'll do is we're gonna add this into the oil, and then from there we're gonna start making the second marination. I'm just reading through some of the recipe here. So in the second marination here, what we want to do is basically we're going to make this, I guess, a Kashmiri, I guess, oil, and then we're going to basically use a large mixing bowl, and we're going to mix all the chicken, both the thighs and the breast, into here, and that's going to be sort of where we make everything, or at least the second sort of marination. So this will have some coriander powder, some cumin, salt, this specialty spice called chat masala, and that has a few different things in it. I think it's like a combination of cumin, um, a bit of like I mean, honestly, I don't even know what it has, but again, I'll here, I'll see if I can open it up and I'll show you guys a little bit. Yeah, again, so that's what that's what well, again, I mean the light is blocking it there, but anyway, we'll get to that here in just a little bit. So I was looking forward to the recipe to see if there's anything else we can do while this is heating up here. Yeah, I don't think there is right now, at least. So we'll give this a moment just to heat up. Again, sort of, again, not sort of every second of the stream is going to be, you know, sort of super riveting. But I wanted to do it in a stream form, I guess, to give you guys the option to ask questions, of course, and and just kind of learn with me, because again, this is the first time that I'm making this dish. Now now again, there are easier ways to make this dish. Again, when I first started to do some research on this dish, there's always like, oh, easy version of a tandoori chicken or whatever, right? And I completely, again, I completely block those out because I don't necessarily care for super easy recipes. I care about the authentic tasting recipes. I don't want to make something and it not be anything close to what the creator of the dish initially intended for it, right? Um, so again, so I don't like those easy recipes or whatever. I prefer, uh, the stuff. Again, I don't necessarily prefer harder recipes. I just prefer more, you know, better tasting recipes and ones that are a bit more authentic. That's really what it boils down to. Hey, okay, hey, we've got some other folks in here. We have the cool table with Lucha second, and then of course Lucha Bedic Mark, or yeah, Lucha Bedic Underground third. So Mark, thank you so much for joining the stream. Hopefully you're still here and you haven't zoned out just yet. This is starting to smoke a little bit, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this off. And again, I'm going to let this cool just for a moment. And then what we're going to do, we're going to pour in most of this Kashmiri red, chili powder. And that's going to basically create a sort of an oily, red pepper infused oil, basically. Um, so that will be part of what we use in the second marination. Okay. Okay. Salucha says he loves tandoori chicken, but have never made it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I've made it. Sorry, again, I've had it several times. Especially like at work. Again, it was for not trying to be racist or anything, but this is just, again, I work with like a lot of folks from India, and and when we travel, we we will often, go out to eat for lunch and everything, and they always love to go to their favorite sort of Indian sort of spots. And there's been several times where I've had some really awesome, authentic Indian food. And I kind of fell in love with it. So I've been meaning to do this one here. Again, I know what it should taste like. Um, but again, it's just a matter of, I guess, having all the ingredients, readily available to you. Which for folks here in the Western sort of hemisphere, it's not always easy to find the right ingredients, right? But again, I tried, and there were a few things that I wasn't able to find. Even after going to two different stores, I went to an Asian market and I went to an Indian mart. Um, but just to catch everybody up to speed here, in case you're just joining, So the first thing that we made was this chili garlic sort of paste, and this will be used in the second marination that we're about to make here. Um, I've also kind of turned a red chili sauce into a red chili paste. It needs to be more of a paste consistency here. And I've done that by adding a bit more red pepper, like raw red pepper that I blanched a little bit. And then I added a little bit of xanthan gum, right? So you could do like a you know, like you could do like a cornstarch slurry here too, but again, I decided to, I decided that this was a prime opportunity to use xanthan gum. Something else we did is I've kind of toasted some fenugreek seeds. Like the Indian word for it is a methi. But again, I tried to use a pestle and mortar here to actually like grind them up here, but that wasn't exactly working. So I ended up blitzing this in my more powerful uh, blender here. So I think this is cooled enough for me to add this in. So let's see what happens. Let's see. So I do want to save some for later. There's a bit more that we need to use here. But let's put this back on the heat. And I'm going to whisk this around a little bit. So it's basically spice infused oil is what we're making here. So we'll let that come up to temperature. I thought there might have been one more comment here. Let's see. Let's see who we have. Hey, we have Ryan Singer. Hey, man, it's always great to see Ryan here. Ryan's just the coolest guy among cool guys. He just has a great friendly vibe to him. Uh, really great guy. And Ryan, I hope you make it out to Vegas. Um, that'll be a lot of fun. I don't know if I'm coming to New York this year or not, but I'm definitely making it to Vegas. So hope to see you there and other cool people. Um, Lucha says he's upvote number 4 and 5. Hey, thank you, man. I do greatly appreciate the upvotes. Again, this is a very small channel, and I don't expect the likes to do much of anything. But YouTube says it helps, so why not? Hey, wait, I thought I was the coolest guy. Well, Lucha, you have a so here's the thing, Lucha. You are in a class of your own. I'm grading Ryan on like a normal coolness class, but you have a class of your own, Lucha. So don't worry. Lucha, if you want to hop on, you can. I I thought I pinned the link. Well, like there's very few. Yeah, so if you do want to join, just let me know. And again, this is a bit of a more sort of quiet stream. So again, always nice to have somebody to talk to. Um, but if you're busy, no worries. Yogan, if you do want to join, just tell me that you're in the backstage because I have to go let you up or let you in from upstairs because that's where my actual computer is. So again, I'm going to let this come to like almost like a boil here. And what we'll do, we're going to put that in a large mixing bowl here that here we go. So we're going to put that in a large mixing bowl, and that's going to be the base of our second. Okay, Lucha. Hey, all right, guys. So I'm going to step backstage real quick, and I'm going to put on some headphones, and I'm going to get Lucha in here real quick. So I'll be right back.
Bum 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 bum. Ba-da-dum bum bum bum.
Okay, Mark. Hey, sorry about that. I had
Oh, you're
to
good.
had to had to actually step away.
It's all good, sir. How are you?
All right, awesome. So, I'm good. I'm good. I'm doing well. I think this is good now. So I'm gonna pour this off into here. And Mark, it's just a quick sort of giving sort of heads up here. There might be a you're gonna like a slight delay here. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to turn up the volume on the camera here, and I think that will allow it to be closer in sync with each other. But
Cool.
give me 1 second. I don't usually
No,
do these streams
with a
with
guest.
sort of other people. Um, so here yeah, I guess
Yeah.
exactly, Mark. Let me do something real quick. Hold on. Okay. Are you able to hear me okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, so that's more real time. I think that's going to work better. So sorry if there was a little bit of a,
You're
like
good.
a delay there. But anyway, so I think we have everything to make the second sort of marination. Um, so let me see here. Yeah, okay. So let's do this. So we have the oil. I kind of let the oil go just a little too long here, but that's all right. Um, it's just a little bit, I guess, more sort of charred than I wanted to. But now we're going to do this. We're going to add in, and let me get that closer here so you guys can see that. So now we're going to add in our chili garlic. Sorry, our ginger garlic paste.
Okay.
So Lucha, like you mentioned that, like you've actually made, or sorry, like you've never made it, but you've had it several times, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a really really good Indian restaurant in Carnegie that's attached to the Indian Cultural Trust Center.
Okay.
It's kind of a dive, the restaurant part, which I think is better. And it's just really like they make really authentic, really good food.
Good. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, sort of like I was saying earlier, I work with a lot of guys that are Indian, and they take me to like the real places.
Yeah. That's how I
So,
found this place. I asked the guy,
oh, okay,
where do
perfect.
you go? I flat out asked, I said, look, I love Indian food. I said, but I said, some of the places it's a little Americanized. And he was like, oh, here's where you need to go to Cafe Deli. I was like, see,
Ah,
that's why I asked.
I gotcha. I gotcha. That makes sense. All right.
Because a
So,
lot of it's like anything like Tex-Mex, we sort of have a tendency to uh, put an American spin on ethnic dishes here in the States. So when you
right.
find something authentic, it's a good find.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you got to keep those places close, right?
Yeah.
Um, so, okay. So now we're going to add in some spices here, as if it didn't have enough spice already, but let's do some coriander powder.
Nice.
That's cumin, coriander. Okay. We'll do three teaspoons of that. And I bought these really nice weighted uh you know tablespoon set not too long ago. Um and they're very nice. So we're gonna do 3 teaspoons of that. 1, 2, 3. So the recipe that I got this from, I got it off a guy from YouTube, and he spoke no English. Like I had to read the whole thing on. Again, I mean, I had to do like the whole thing like on subtitles. And thankfully, like you can sort of like the stuff, it's like the stuff that it's like the stuff that he actually put in his description. So that was sort of half English, half sort of Indian, right? So
Yeah.
he did the translation there sort of halfway. So I was like, oh, thank you. But again, I'm not going to go to like some Southern girls like easy country kitchen, for like a tandoori,
Right.
right? So
I
so
don't
I
want
said,
Rachel Ray telling me how to make tandoori.
no, exactly, exactly. You don't. I mean, like, right, right. So sort of here's the thing. Like my mom sort of always sort of watched her show, like, and always, did her recipes and whatever.
They're
But
fine.
but I but again, I mean, when I started to cook on my own, I realized, oh, okay, this is what sort of real flavor tastes like.
Hey, we got Mrs. Dodger here. I'll read some of the chat when they come through. How's that?
Okay, perfect. Yeah, perfect.
Mrs. Dodger says, "Good evening, gentlemen." And then she said, "The best Indian restaurants are dives. The best usually." I agree. A lot of times when you find something, you don't want it to be dirty and or anything like that, but it's not super. It's not the super fancy stuff where they're trying to make something more than what it should be. If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
It's like Chinese restaurant. A lot of Chinese restaurants, like the fancier ones, they're trying to make fancy food instead of just And I always judge them by their fried rice.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's so right. So I mean, so recently I was watching a video of like how like basically like a chef interview, like the things that you make to become a chef at like a restaurant.
Yeah.
And like one thing was like an omelet, and then sort of how well can you make like a chicken stock, just things that will test like can sort of it will test sort of multiple techniques and everything.
Yeah.
And there was another one that I watched that actually said fried rice.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this is the specialty ingredient. It's called chaat
Okay.
masala.
Yeah.
So just a little story time. When I was going out, like to find all these specialty ingredients, um, there's a sweet old sort of little sort of Indian lady that was helping me. Like, she saw that I was clearly like, looking around, and I was just like this bumbling sort of white dude, right?
Yeah.
And so she said, "Oh, do you need help?" And I was like, "Yeah, I could actually use some help." And so she pointed me to several things, but again, sort of there was some things that they didn't have, which was sort of kind of disappointing. But
Mhm.
but again, you can only work with what you have, right?
Right.
So let's do some garam masala now. We'll do a teaspoon and a half of that. And sometimes this is too big to actually stick into the.
That's
into.
I have that annoyance with spoons.
Yeah, it's crazy. We'll do.
So a recipe like this, me, I like to just sort of shoot from the hip a lot of times. But if I'm making Indian food, I usually measure everything out because there is a balance that you need to strike, and if you don't hit it right, it doesn't work.
Mark, you're 100% right with that. Yeah, so that's why I'm having like the measure thing. So this is right. So this is like the powdered form, or like the fenugreek seeds that I toasted up and blitzed, and then 1 teaspoon of cardamom powder. Let's see. So thankfully, I did have a lot of this stuff already, because I use it like in other dishes.
Right.
But but there's several of these that I've never opened before, and I'm like, oh, okay, so this is a great opportunity to use it.
100%.
Yeah. So, Mark, uh, what have you made recently? You know, you know what? You can't share your screen, I guess, right? So, but, but
I can.
I was just going to say, you know, sort of what are some dishes that you've made recently?
Oh, let's see. Well, a lot of breakfast stuff, obviously. Like this morning, I made the shrimp and grits and eggs.
Oh, okay.
So it's hard to come up with different ideas for breakfast, you know.
Well, hey, Mark, you know, it's the same exact thing with like these grill streams. Like I've done ribs, I've done, you know,
Yeah.
steaks, of course, and all that. You know, and like you want to give people something like a little bit different every time, right?
Right.
Um, but you may not always think of something creative, I guess. And you know, so this is the other part like I couldn't find. So typically when us sort of Americans try to make anything sort of Indian, what they actually use is called a hung curd. But again, we have yogurt over here, and it's the closest thing to it. So I tried to look for it, you know, like the Asian market and like the Indian market, but I could not find it. So I'm just using yogurt here, and
All
you know,
right.
again, I mean, is it going to be truly authentic? No, but it's still going to taste good.
It's pretty close because even most of the Indian restaurants I go to, when they do their the yogurt side, you know, it's a yogurt side. It's not the traditional.
Right.
You know.
Exactly.
We got Dodger in the chat.
Hey,
Mr.
Dodger.
Dodger.
What's up, man?
He says, I usually add tikka paste, mustard oil, and mustard powder plus cream instead of yogurt for a smoother flavor.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So
That's a pretty interesting take, Dodger. Thank you for sharing. Let me get that whisk that I had just a moment ago, and we're going to kind of whisk this all together here.
cool.
So this is going to be our second marinade. I don't know if you caught the beginning of the stream,
Yeah.
but I started out with, you know, again, it's like the recipe that I was watching and was just, you know, sort of basing all this off of was they were using or well yeah, so basically so they started with sort of like a very simple marination. It was salt, lemon, juice, you know, and there was a little bit of that, you know, sort of a little bit of that Kashmiri chili
Oh, yeah.
powder. Yeah. But but then but then sort of he was saying, you know, Yogan, if you want to do like a long term marination, like one that's sort of 10 to 12 hours or whatever, then you need to wait and do the second one like right when you're about to grill, because apparently it doesn't work all that well if you put both on at the same time, apparently.
I think you might get sticky. So Dodger says, hey, Lucha, yes, I find yogurt can be a little bitter. I can see that.
Yeah.
The other thing, it's either bitter or you get the wrong one and it's sweet.
Yeah, exactly. That, yeah. So at this point,
Now
let's taste.
would putting this on as a marinade, it might make it too goopy, right? Like if you put it on.
It can't, well, right. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to take all of the chicken that I had from a moment ago. I'm going to dump it all in here. I mean, hopefully it'll all
Yeah.
fit. But then I'm going to clear off my cutting board, and I'm just going to mash everything together. I don't have a bowl big enough for for for, for basically for all of this chicken.
Mhm.
And Gilgan, it's funny. When I went to like the Asian market, they had these huge bowls, like you know, like the ones that you would actually see in like a restaurant.
Oh yeah.
And you know, it's like, man, that's so cool, but like I don't really have any need for it. But now I kind of do have a need for it. Um, but anyway, let's do this. Let's take out the chicken. Let's do breast. So here's the thigh. Oh, you can't see that. So here's the breast and here's the thigh. But you normally the recipe calls for chicken legs. Uh, and I could not find any. So I guess there's a shortage. I guess sort of close to where I am. But what I'll do, I'm gonna dump in the thighs first, and this is
Thanks,
probably like
Dodger.
4 to 5 pounds of chicken, sort of all together. I mean, maybe more, but
You can't see me, Logan, but I'm sitting here with my cat like a Bond villain.
oh yeah. I see you now. Actually, that's great. Yeah, I mean, I started to catch a little bit of your stream this morning, uh, and I'm like, your cat is very, very loud at times.
Oh man, when she wants in or out. I think you probably heard when I lost the Rebel and TC, she became much more human needy.
Ah, yeah.
So we got Dear Artifact in the chat. He says, "Afternoon, Lucha and Logan. Hope you're both well."
Hey, thank you, dear Artifact. It's always great to see you in the chat, man. Jürgen, when I first met him over this last fall, I'm in New York. Just a super, super nice guy. Again, his dad is just
Yeah.
a total badass too. He's great. But again, again, it's like it's more about actually, I just sort of meeting up with these guys in person
Yeah.
and sharing that sort of like that in person experience too. I'm going to drain off some of the liquid in this second one.
Good. Dodger says cats can always sense good people. And Dear Artifact says,
that's right.
Dear Artifact says, I'm not a Bond villain. I'm an Inspector Gadget villain. He says, the way Mark is stroking his cat makes me feel like he needs to say, I'll get you, Gadget, in a very deep voice.
That's funny. That is fun. Yeah. I mean, this bowl is just big enough to get all this. But again, this is sort of what I was talking about with my cutting board here. I'm going to move you guys over here real quick. And again, I am going to mess up the cutting board, but I'm just going to easily just sort of rinse it off here in a moment. But I think to get the most even coverage here, I'm just going to dump all this out here.
Your Artifact says, both my dad and I really enjoyed meeting you as well, Logan. You're a class.
Perfect. Awesome, man. That's always great to hear.
Dodger has 8 cats. 2 of them are black. I just have the 2 black cats now. I had 4. Cats live a long time in my house. I don't know why. TC lived to be 20. These two are like, they got to be somewhere between 12 and 14 because I think they were 5 or 6 when I adopted them.
Oh wow!
Brother and sister, and at one point I had 4 cats and 3 dogs. That was the most I was ever up to. So Dodger definitely beat me with his 8.
Well, that's excellent. I do have a cat. She's about 6 or 7 years old. I got her when she was 6 months old. So her name is Sophie. Yeah, and so she's great to me, but again, when my parents come over, like and visit, she's not too friendly to them, unfortunately. But I think it, oh, so I heard her there.
Yeah, she wants down.
I gotcha. But I mean, I think pets, like, if you don't see someone for a while, they just sort of forget about you. If you didn't spend a lot of time with them initially, right? Because like there's always those cases where you hear about a cat or like a dog coming home to a neighbor after 10 years or whatever, right?
Right.
But that's because they were with them for all that time and they got used to them and all that. But my parents have never really been around my cat all that much. So sort of every time that they come over and visit, it's always like, oh, oh, so human,
Yeah.
you're bringing new people into my house, right? But anyway, I think this is fairly well and mixed here.
Right.
Uh,
So, Dear Artifact says Logan cooking something delicious up and Lucha interacting with the chat might be the greatest power combo in the community.
that's great, man. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I mean, again, I mean, I've said it before, like, sort of people, 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 people will sort of watch this and be like, "Oh my gosh, Logan, this is way too much work." And to be fair, I mean, it is a lot of work, but again, I get given sort of cooking like your food is basically like my therapy.
There you go.
I'm in my happy place when I'm cooking.
Yeah.
And like especially when I'm cooking for others too. Because sort of they can enjoy the food that I often make, right?
See, I'm very selfish. I want to enjoy all my own food. No.
Let me check the recipe now.
All right. Dodger says he had 2 cats that lived to be 21. Yeah.
Wow.
It's good to have a panel. Absolutely. Good to have you in this chat, Dodger and Dear Artifact. And we had Mrs. Dodger earlier. And I think Ryan was
I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do this next step or not. So in the video that I was watching, the dude was very fancy. He basically, so for this next part, he actually got a piece of charcoal and he put it in one of these like a ramekin or whatever.
Okay.
And then he poured some ghee on it. Again, just like the clarified butter, and then he covered the whole thing and then let everything smoke for a little bit. I don't think I have a big enough vessel to do all that in, so I might just kind of skip that one.
Yeah. Dear Artifact says, question for Lucha and Logan. What is the spiciest thing you've ever cooked yourself?
Oh, wow. That's a great, well, I mean, I'm going to slightly twist that a little bit, Dear Artifact. Like the spiciest thing that I've ever had, first that I've eaten, was, so when I first moved to Nashville, sort of Nashville is known for a Nashville hot chicken, right?
Yes.
And there's different levels of it, right? You can get like the wimpy version, you can get medium, and then blow your brains out hot. So I was on a date, and I wanted to impress this girl, and so I got the hottest one they had, and and sort of all she could say was like, "Wow, you're really sweating. Wow, do you need more water? Wow."
Exactly.
And I didn't get the hottest one sort of after that. Like I've always gone with like the medium or whatever.
Yeah.
But that was probably the hottest thing that I've had. I've never actually made Nashville hot chicken, but I think that is a good idea for like a future.
Good idea.
Yeah. So thank you.
The hottest thing I've ever eaten, twice I took the 1 chip challenge.
Oh, that's right.
And I think there's at least one video on my YouTube page of that. But I also I used to make this Chipotle ghost pepper chili.
Ooh.
I had a customer who had made this ghost pepper sauce that it was ridiculously hot.
Wow.
Like if you just dabbed it and put it on your tongue, you wanted to die. But you could use it as in something like a chili. It would dilute enough, but it was so screaming hot.
Wow.
It was ridiculous.
Wow.
But those chip challenges, those things are really hot. But they're it's kind of fake hot. I mean, it's hot, but it's not like food. You know what I mean? It's a weird thing.
Well, I've always been too chicken to do those challenges. But yeah, I mean, again, I think that when we were on a stream with Curly, again, I guess it was like the last one that we did.
Yeah.
but anyway, he we were talking about, you know, it's great to have spicy food, but not so much that you're not enjoying the food. And
Right.
I think there's a balance, right? For you to have good spicy food, it's it's basically a balance of heat and sort of, I guess, like the fruitiness that like the peppers give you.
Mhm.
And if you make something spicy just for the sake of making something spicy, then I mean, I don't think that's really too enjoyable.
No, it's not. And I think we were talking. It was the taco one that he did. Because
Oh, okay.
why would you just put raw habanero on there like
Oh,
that?
yeah, 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 exactly.
Because
Yes.
you're
Yep.
not getting you're not cooking it. You're not getting any of the sugars out of it and the sweetness and things. You're not getting any of the flavor. You're getting is direct heat.
Exactly.
Do it that way.
Exactly. So now I'm doing the skewering part. These do technically need to marinate for 15-20 minutes, but I figure by the time that I'm done getting all these on, then
Should be
they'll be
ready.
there. And here in a minute, I'm going to put some more charcoal back on my grill. It's technically been going sort of all this time, um, but again, we haven't really been using it. Here, let me do that real quick, because by the time that these are all sort of fully skewered, I do want to take them out there. Um,
Can you hear out there or
um, yeah, I think I'll be okay.
all right?
Um,
Dear Artifact put another chat in. He just said, with my bland Canadian palate, I find ketchup spicy. However, I would like to try Nashville hot chicken someday. Logan,
there
when
you
I'm
go.
there in the
Well,
future,
hey,
you'll have to show me the best place to go.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a few different places. There's there's one called Hattie B's.
Patty B's.
Yeah, and that one is probably like the most sort of, or well, it's like the one that's it's like the one that's most commercialized.
Yeah.
Because they have several different locations sort of all throughout the city. Um, so let me do this. I'm going to add just a bit more charcoal in here real quick.
So Hattie B's is very famous, and I think that it's become more touristy.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, because they were they're like the OG in town, But I had heard of Hattie B's before people were going crazy about Nashville hot chicken.
Right.
Through people would tell me like, "There's this place." Yeah, like people went there. They're like, "Oh, I went to this place called. You would love it." I'm like, oh, okay. So it's kind of sometimes fun to find a off the beaten path place that isn't.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so there's another place called Prince's Chicken.
Okay.
And they do have a crunchier texture. But I find that they're not very well. I mean, like they're not as consistent as a Hattie B's.
Okay.
Um, now there's other smaller places. But I mean, I've been to like three or four of them. And they're all good. Again, I mean, again, it's like you're not going to get like a bad one sort of anywhere.
Yeah.
But there's different levels of good, I guess.
Yeah, I get it. Dodger said if heat is a problem, use mild Caribbean curry powder instead of chili powder. All right.
Interesting, man.
Dodger,
I mean, we need to get Dodger on here too.
We got to get Dodger's cooking stream going. He's got all the tips.
Yeah, exactly, man.
I'm not a fan, Dear Artifact. Dear Artifact says, "What's everyone's opinion on putting hot honey on pizza? I've never done it, but he's intrigued. I had it once, and hot honey, and it could have just been it was not a good hot honey, because there's good hot honey, and then there's no middle ground. It's either good or it's freaking horrible." And
well, I mean, the right person to ask about this is actually Curly, because again today. It was either like the first or second stream that we did with him, but he was raving about it.
Yeah.
So so just to give you guys a little bit of value here, I'm gonna give you a bit of a fireworks show here,
Nice.
just to get these other coals going.
Logan Hall has the best tools. I love it.
There we go.
Very nice. What watch you wearing?
Well, I was wearing the Datejust, but I actually took it off when I started to do the second marination. So I'm gonna take the skewer back in, and what I'll do, I'll take you guys back in with me. Yeah, and don't mind my messy kitchen here. But let's get back to doing like the skewering here.
All right.
Because by the time that we're done doing this, then I think
We'll be
ready
marinated long enough.
to grill.
Yeah. I think the reason they have you do the marinade separate, A, you want to get that initial flavor on the chicken, and then B, with the ingredients that are in this part of the marinade, I think if you put that in the fridge, like I think you would make a goopy mess.
Yeah,
Like,
it's gonna be lumpy.
Cut through it to get to your chicken.
Exactly. I think you're right about that. So there's one for the breast. Let's see here. Thankfully, I've got like 20 of these skewers here. So
I know, because you got a ton of chicken there.
well, I mean, so here's the thing. Like, normally I wouldn't make this much chicken. But sometimes I will cook for my neighbors. So
Okay.
Guess again, so I mean, I do have like so on this sort of far end, there's a very sort of elderly sort of couple here, and they always love my food. I've shared brisket with them. I've shared sort of all kinds of stuff with them. So they're always, hey, when are you gonna cook something else? They're always eager to get some of my food. But yeah, I'll have this for dinner.
Can I get a flight to Nashville here in the next 10 minutes?
yeah, you could. You could. Yeah, hey, just sort of move in, and you'll get some of my food. There you go.
There you
go. But yeah, I mean, so yes, I mean, I do share the food too. That's actually been sort of like one of the big questions that I get. Like, man, do you eat all this food yourself? No. I mean, I'll usually share it, and then sometimes I will freeze it. So out in my garage, I actually have a chest freezer.
Okay.
And that's actually where I store a lot of my meat that like I buy from Costco or wherever. But also when I'm cooking something and I ended up making too much of it, then I'll just throw it out there, and then I'll thaw it out and then sort of have it some other time. I mean, it's great to do that with the soups. Actually, soups are really good for freezing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's soups, chilies, stews, all that stuff is great for that. I do that a lot because I'll cook a pretty good batch of food a lot of times, and then I'll take it to work for lunches.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean,
because I have one of those like on the run jobs. Like you never know when I don't have a designated eat time. I normally just eat at my desk. So if I have something I can throw in the microwave, heat it up, and get back to making deals, that's what I do. You know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, my job is, sort of slightly like that in that like there's not like a dedicated, okay, you eat now. I mean,
Yeah.
there are sort of certain days where you just have to be, sort of heads down, and like you do your work. Um, b- but again, there's other days where you might be traveling, and you actually have the opportunity like to you can sort of not only eat, but you eat well.
Yeah.
You can sort of out at like a restaurant.
No, it's nice.
Yeah. So again, by the time that I'm done doing all these skewers, I think they'll be ready for the grill anyway. So I'm doing a thigh one right now. And Mark again, so don't feel like you have to stay for like the whole thing. I
I'll
mean,
stick around for a little bit. I'm fine.
yeah,
Good
yeah,
time.
exactly.
It's always good to hang out with Logan Hall, you know?
That's right. That's right, man. And I do appreciate the company too, because again, when I'm doing these super long streams, they can kind of get lonely, sometimes. um, and like when you're doing your own streams too, like I'm sure there's a little bit of that too, where
Oh, it's nice, Brian or George or whoever comes
yeah,
on.
yeah, Brian, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to take this one, put it on this one. There's just a few more thighs.
Dude, those are big thighs.
Well, Mark, I've never been complimented on my thighs before. Thank you.
I want to know what the spiciest thing Deer Artifact has ever eaten.
Yeah, well, if he said that ketchup is spicy, then I mean, I'm scared to think what, sort of what sort of normal thing that we eat sort of every day. He's like, oh, I can't do that.
Or did he once try something super hot and it scarred him for life?
That could be it too. That might be it, man.
You never know.
Never know.
Inquiring minds want to know, as the commercial used to say.
Exactly. Yeah, but I think we're almost done here. We've almost got everything on a skewer.
I bet you that smells amazing, especially with all that ginger in there.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So the again, so the actual way that you would normally make this is, yeah. I think I can squeeze just a few of these more on these here. But anyway, you know, you know, you know, like a tandoori oven, it it's actually kind of shaped like my grill.
It's like it's like a clay pot almost, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like a clay pot. Now sort of mine. Now there, the heat from those, I think they actually come up from the bottom.
Okay.
And then you sort of have these just sort of sitting there, I guess. Now mine will be more to the side, I guess. So that's the only, I guess, difference here. But so what I want to do now is I'm actually going to set my oven to like a really low temperature, like 170 or something, because when we're done making this, these will actually sit for a minute, because after I'm done making this, we're going to make some authentic Indian basmati rice, and then I'm making two different chutneys, like a red pepper chutney and a green pepper chutney.
Okay.
So I'm going all out here today.
Will they be sweet and spicy, or?
So it's more of a mild and a hot type of thing.
Okay. So Deer Artifact says, Lucha, there's a really good sandwich shop a town over from where I live, and they make this delicious crispy buffalo chicken sandwich. That's the hottest thing I've ever eaten.
Okay.
All right,
That's funny.
it's spicier than ketchup, you know.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. It is. All right. Let's get these on here. Now, one thing that I am fearful of is all this chicken like falling off.
Yeah.
So so I might have to get creative here in how I keep it all on.
Can you like cap it with like a pepper or something? Or
I was thinking of doing that actually.
I'm not sure. The chicken's so heavy, I don't know if it'll hold, if the pepper would hold it. But
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if it's going to hold or not. The other idea is, I mean, I drink a lot of wine, and I have all
oh
these wine corks that I
yeah,
save. Um, so I might actually just go ahead and stick some on.
that's a better idea. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, yeah. So what I'll do, let me grab a few of these here. Actually.
Unlike Moses, you're actually washing your hands.
Well, I mean, I'm constantly touching all this raw chicken, so I want to be, not really cross
Yeah.
cross. Yeah.
Dear Artifact says the sandwich has these Indian spicy chips crushed up inside the sandwich that are super hot, to him anyway. And he says it probably isn't that hot, but it burns my face off every time I eat it.
That's funny. So I have all these corks here. I like to save the corks just for fun.
Yeah.
I don't know how easy or hard this is going to be to get them on there. Yeah, I might have to stand this up.
Skewer your hand. Just don't get your finger. There you go.
Yeah. Okay, I think that'll work.
I think that will work great. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a great idea. Now when you get Nashville hot chicken down there, I have never had it in Nashville. Just places that try and make it here, and some I like better than others. But it seems like the ones I like better, the Nashville hot sauce is a little greasier.
That's true. That's true.
Okay. So yeah, I seems like those are the places that I seem to enjoy it more. Some places make it and it's more like a traditional, just a sauce, and it's missing something to me.
Well, yes, you are right about that. Yeah, so some of these might be too hard here. I'm going to try this one more time.
All right.
No, that's not going to work. Okay. Let me try another cork because maybe this one's just too tough. Let me try this one. Some decoy. Yeah, I mean, I think that one works a little bit better.
Okay.
But okay.
I don't think it needs to be like super on. It's just enough to keep the chicken from falling,
Yeah.
falling off.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
heavy. I can see just when you're picking them up, you see that they're heavy.
They're flopping around.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm
gonna
keep.
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep trying this and see if it works on these. No, okay. You know what? Let's go with these two here, and if it makes a really big difference, then I may end up pulling some out, like and trying to put them on later. But I think the fire is already going here, so I think we can go ahead and
Get them going.
go out there and start grilling.
So Dear Artifact says, Dad loves spice. He'll eat anything hot and spicy. I'm convinced his taste buds are nuked because he'll ask for the spiciest thing on the menu at an Indian restaurant, and he'll say it's not even spicy.
Wow. How about that? Okay, what I'll do, so because this is going to be a little bit messy, I'm going to go put down some paper towels real quick and I'll come back.
Okay. So, dear artifact, I remember in State College, Pennsylvania, I met some friends of mine at a bar and restaurant called the Gingerbread Man. We called it the G Man. And so I went and met them, and they'd ordered, like, they were all dying. They'd ordered these super, I forget what they called their atomic wing or whatever. And I ate it, and I grabbed it, and I finished it, and I was just sitting there chewing and swallowing, and I wasn't saying anything. And they're like, it doesn't even bother Mark. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, it does. I just can't vocalize it right now because it was so spicy that it stunned me.
All right, Mark. So I do have another idea here. So something that I picked up at the Asian market yesterday was one of these like traditional like restaurant style cast iron plates
Mhm.
that like like when you go to like a Mexican restaurant, like they'll put like all the peppers and like the chicken
Yeah,
for your
for your
again I'm just like
fajitas.
it comes out
Sizzle.
it's
Like
sizzling. Yeah, exactly. Um, so this actually needs to get hot anyway. So
right.
what I'm gonna do, I think I will put this at the bottom of the grates, and so that will keep it from falling through. I think.
Falling through to the charcoal. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So let's do this. I'm gonna set you guys up right here real quick. Um, so we're at 600 degrees right now.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mean to get it that high, but sometimes that's just what happens.
Yeah. The artifact says when you get that sweat going under your eyes, you know it's getting to you. It's true.
Exactly. All right, so let's see if this is going to be a fail or not. So I'm going to set you guys up here. So I have the plate down there. You can't really see it all too well, but I'm going to go ahead and start to put these in and see what happens.
Nice. You want to go up? Hold on. Cat wants to go up. Come here. What do you want? What do you want, Shadow? Come on. All right, but you're just going to cry to come in again. I already know how this game works. You go out, and then you cry.
All right. So they seem to be holding well.
Cool. I'm here.
Okay.
I had to let the cat
Yeah.
out, of course.
No, you're good. You're good. So they seem to be holding well. So again, I mean, they're very close like the fire there.
Yeah.
And
I think once they heat up a little bit, the caramelization will keep them on the skewer.
yes, yes, exactly. I'm going to move you guys over here to see if it looks better. You can kind of see it better there.
A little better.
Yeah. So I'm going to move these around,
Here's the sizzle.
and just wait until they're done. There will probably be, 2 more rounds of this because, again, I'm using just like the surface area of the cast iron plate to hold them down,
Right.
and they can only hold about 3 skewers.
Okay. One of my favorite things on the tandoori chicken is that little bit of like caramelization, almost burnt pieces that you get. You don't want them all. Yeah, you don't want it all to be that way, but you get those. It's like a little extra flavor boost.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm gonna go grab the temperature probe real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. Cool. Guys, if you're out there watching, I can't see on the StreamYard how many people there are, but if you haven't, please hit the upvote and subscribe to Logan Hall's Grill Streams. He does great work. And you can see, I mean, what I love is that not only does he show you how he grills this stuff, but he makes all his sauces and marinades and stuff from scratch. This is like well done food. And I don't mean overcooked. I mean, he's making the food properly.
Yeah, so like the challenge here is going to be like actually like flipping these without them
Not
falling off the skewers.
gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, grilling is hard work.
It is.
Yeah, so it's
Now,
okay.
can you pop it up and turn it?
I think they'll fall off if I do
Okay.
that. Yeah, I'm actually going to close this too, so that we don't lose too much heat.
Yeah.
But I'll move this back, and so you guys can see the ones that are in the queue,
Waiting for the fire.
waiting for the fire. That's right. You know, I was actually looking for I'll scoot this up a little bit.
Yeah, there you
So I was actually looking for some skewers that had uh like something that
go.
you can put on the
Almost like a
end.
hook. Right.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, so I ended up ordering some off of Amazon. Um, but they weren't really, or well, like they didn't really do what I wanted them to do.
Okay.
So they, so okay, so right, right where, right where the hook is, there's this little rectangular thing that you can like slide down so that you can get all your food off of it.
Okay.
But there was a little like I guess thing at like the very end for like uh that basically stopped the rectangular thing from going off. So again, like my plan was just to take off the little shifter thing, uh, put the chicken on, and then put the like the stopper thing back.
Yeah.
But again, I don't think that really worked
Yeah.
how I wanted to. So I don't know how they do it like in India. I
Yeah.
mean because like they have like the same
I
same set of skewers like the
they just set it down in that pot, and I don't know what they do to their skewers to keep it on.
again, I'm not sure either, but
Yeah.
again, I should have watched some more videos of this videos sort of prior to prior.
Get some ideas.
Yeah, get some ideas exactly.
Dear Artifact wants to know: would it typically be basmati rice with tandoori? Could you use jasmine as well?
You could use jasmine, but again, it's like it's more
Traditional
traditional to use.
basmati.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna see if I can flip these at all.
I
Okay.
also wonder in a clay oven if you need to flip them as much.
Sorry, could you say that one more time?
I said I also wonder in the clay oven cooking if you need to flip them as much
Oh, that's a good point too.
because it's not direct flame. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, so these are easily falling off. I'm glad that like I did the plate idea.
Yes.
So that way, sort of, I can just get like a pair of tongs and like can actually sort of take these out.
So I was going to say, could you? Is it close enough that you can lean them to the other side?
Oh, you mean like lean them towards the side of the coals or lean them back?
Towards the side, like if you could just change the angle that they're at to get more of a.
Oh, okay. Well, sort of one idea that like I haven't tried yet is like instead of them being sort of off to the side here, maybe just have them laying across here.
Yeah.
I might here. Let me do something real quick. So what I may end up doing, like just to make this a little bit easier, is just actually cook these.
Put the grate in. Yeah.
Yeah. Just cook these like that. So let's see if I can rescue these. Okay, see, so I'm afraid that that's going to fall off into the charcoal.
Can you get like some tongs or something and hold the end on?
Yeah.
With your left hand.
Let me go grab some real quick.
Yeah. Excuse me. So yeah, this is an interesting. So tandoori chicken's amazing, and this is just finding a way to get it cooked properly on the skewers is a little bit of a challenge that I did. Yeah, because the chicken's really heavy. I thought maybe when it was in that heat, it would caramelize enough around the skewers that it may hold, but evidently it's too heavy.
Yeah, so the chicken will sort of easily fall. Okay,
There you go.
Now I'm going to use this other skewer here. Or well, you know what? Let's just use the tongs. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, I wanted to do this in a more sort of
Traditional.
yeah, but again, sometimes it's easier just to forget that,
Yeah.
and just kind of go with what works best.
Yeah, right now, I mean, I think you're still going to have amazing flavor. Excuse me. I know what I know what you were looking to do, but I don't think you're going to sacrifice anything this way. It's just going to make your life a lot easier.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I'm going to try to rescue this plate here, but it might be. You know what? Let's get the. So this tool is actually used for picking up grates.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to see if I can. Yeah, let's do that.
Get the plate.
Yep. So I'm going to set this. See, I don't want it to burn anything necessarily. Right. Here, I'm going to put it right up there. You guys can't see that, but it's basically sort of at the base of the cooker.
Okay.
So I'm going to add sort of more charcoal, and then I'm going to put another grate on top of here so that we can kind of speed up the process.
Speed up, yeah. I'm going to let the cat in. I am listening and talking, but
all right, that's good.
She is in a mood.
No worries.
Come on. Come on. I know. Everyone can hear you. The whole world can hear you. The Dodgers and Poland. Come on.
All right, let's put some more on.
Come on, Shadow. You're so weird. You're so weird. I know. Go lay down. Lay down. There you go. Lay down. There you go.
Yeah. So again, if I wanted to do it sort of the authentic style, but again, they have some magic or something that they're doing. I don't know how they're doing it.
I'm not sure how they do it either. It just.
Yeah. So okay, so I'm gonna let this cook in here and let the temperature come back up, and then let's see here. Again, I'm not sure how long that's going to take to cook. Probably about 10 to 15 minutes or so. So, Mark, how is the new job?
New job's great. It's a new old job, so
a new old job, exactly.
But yeah, I really like the people there. I always did, so that part's good. And having a familiarity helps, so it's not as nerve-wracking. Yeah, it's nerve-wracking as like starting in a brand new place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's I can't complain at all. It's been great, and the whole transition's been pretty smooth.
Good.
So I'm loving it, and it's a lot of the things that I'm used to. Just some different software and stuff that we use, to reacquaint myself with. But I will tell you, like some of the things, like one of the things here, they normally go 60 days to your medical.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I have mine already.
Okay.
They were just like, now we're just putting you on. Because that's where worked when I had the heart issue
Right.
in the surgery. So, I mean, they threw me on right away. Like, they didn't have to do that. I didn't ask. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
good. Okay, excellent.
yeah, like they just, you know, I I filled out the stuff as part of my initial hire paper, the packet, hire packet.
Right.
And the other day, my medical card came in, and I was like, "Oh wow!" And I asked about it. And so I asked about it, and they're like, "No, we wanted to make sure you were on." I was like, "Oh, well, that's thank you." You know what I mean? Like
That's
that was
that's
awesome.
awesome, man. Yeah. No, I mean, well, I mean, since you had previously worked there, they, again, some like they understood your situation, and
Yeah,
so they figured, well, let's just waive this 30-day or 60-day thing or whatever,
yeah.
and just put them straight on.
That was awesome. Um, they paid me right away, even paid me normal. Even the one week I only, the first week I only worked 3 days. They paid me like I had been there all week, the salary part. You know what I mean? Like little things like that were like, well, that they didn't have to do, but they did.
Right.
That kind of makes a difference.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You
No,
know?
that's great. All right. I'm gonna flip these and see how they're doing.
Nice. Excuse me.
All right. Let's put you guys back over here. All right. Let's use the old pair of tongs. Some of them are starting to stick to the grates, unfortunately, but there we go. Now we're getting some char.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what we want.
A little bit of char it's just really, the flavor's great, but you hit those little pieces of char pieces, they're just so good. Like I said, I've never actually attempted to make tandoori chicken, but I love it. And the one restaurant, the one that I go to the most, the really authentic one, they'll do they call them tandoori lollipops, or like legs. It's just a leg.
Right.
They cook in the tandoori, in the sauce and in the oven. It's just like an appetizer,
Right.
And it's just so good. So
Some
sometimes
of them,
if I feel like having something else, I'll get, if they have them. They don't always have them, but if they do, and I get something else, I'll get one of the lollipops, so I still get my tandoori fix.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, so they're getting some char, but they're also sticking a little bit. So I'm having like to really get them loose. Youngest friend, normally what I do is I will sort of add just like a little bit of a cooking spray on there. But since this was sort of a rescue mission, I didn't really have time to do that. But anyway, let's put that guy there. Got one more to flip. Yeah, you know what I might do is I might just ditch the skewers, and just
yeah, might be easy to
yeah.
do.
Here, let's do that.
Yeah, because if you're using the grate, you really don't need them.
No. I mean, I don't really need them anymore. Come on now.
Somewhere in Canada, Deer Artifact's mouth is already burning. He didn't even taste it.
Oh, his mouth is, just completely shot by now.
Yes. He's going to be inspired to go get the spicy chicken sandwich this week.
There you go. All right, so I've almost got all of them off. Yeah, this is going to be better.
Yeah, when you said it, I'm like, yeah, I guess if you're using the grate, it'd be a lot easier to flip those and get the proper cook and char.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when you're trying to flip them on the skewer, they're just spinning.
Right, exactly. exactly. They spin, and you can't quite get them now. Now for this one guy here, let me get this. So for the guy that we actually put the cork on,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna try to get that off. Actually, let me put this a glove on real quick. Oop, I almost dropped my tongue. Because now this cork is actually doing what I wanted it to, but I don't want it to do
Right.
what I wanted it to do.
Now you don't want it to do that.
Right. That's the opposite. There we go.
There you go.
I think that's everybody.
Cool.
So I'm just gonna flip these around, and I'll close this back up, and then let it. Oh, actually, one more. There we go. All right, so let's get all these guys some good coverage. All right. Oh, this guy almost fell through.
The local army base thanks you for cooking for them.
Oh man, they would have a field day.
Yes.
All right. So we're sitting at 145 degrees right now. We'll let that come back up to temperature.
Nice.
What I may end up doing, Mark, is I might just go ahead and start cleaning up a little bit inside. So
Sure.
because that whole board is dirty and everything.
Yeah.
So sorry for giving you a bit of a vertigo. But all right, so let's clean this stuff up here. Yeah, this is the part that nobody sees, Mark. The whole process of cleaning up and
these are the reasons that everyone only sees my finished products.
Exactly. 100% right. It's the messy part that nobody wants to see.
Right.
And also, I'll take this opportunity to clean my board up here because it's still full of all this.
Yeah. All the
marinade.
All the yogurt-based marinade.
Yeah, yogurt.
Now I saw you put the yogurt through a sifter. Did you press it through, or just let the water?
Well, I did. Yes. So I did try to press it through, and the idea was to try to get out any of the remaining liquid and just had the actual curd in there, but it didn't quite work the way that I saw it on the video. But that's the other thing, you see how somebody does it, and when you do it, it may not necessarily be the same way, or you may not have the same level of success. So that's something else that people don't really realize about all this. So I might have to sacrifice one of these rags. Let's see. You know what? I'm just going to use my hands. Let's just use the hands. Get sort of again, just try to get down and dirty.
Now there was a place years ago that made. I don't think they cooked it in a tandoori oven, but they made tandoori chicken. You could get tandoori chicken wings. Like regular size, chicken wings that were made tandoori style, but those were really good. They had a lot of flavor.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you don't necessarily have to cook it the most sort of authentic way to still get a good product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Dear Artifact says, I'm watching you make this delicious looking tandoori chicken while my wife and I make homemade pizza right from scratch. Cool.
Oh, hey, not, pizza, pizza can be kind of tough to get it right when you
It
do it like
does.
at home. I do have like a little pizza oven attachment that
Okay.
goes on the grill. Now it's kind of limited in that like you're only supposed to get it up to a certain degrees. Like it can't go over like like it can't go over like 800 or 900 degrees or something like that.
Okay.
But for every time that I've seen someone make like an actual sort of it's like the Neapolitan style pizza.
Hmm.
Those will cook like in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So but for you to do it like in 30 seconds, your oven basically has to be like at 1100 or
Right.
like a 1200, right? So that's that's basically like the difference. So again, I can't really use mine for like the full potential of sort of what I think it should be, I guess. Anyway, I'm just about done with this. Let's take this back. I'll clean all this up. And then we'll go back out and we'll flip our chicken again.
Flip the chicken. I think actually you might get better char with the grate because it won't be, you get the actual where the grate lines are. That actually might come out pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, just like the American way of cooking might just be better than the Indian, right?
Right.
All right, let's go back out here. I'll grab my phone. Let's open this up here.
The artifact says this is going to be a square grandma style pizza. Looking forward to how it turns out. Yeah, that's
nice. Cool. Let's check under the hood. All right, can you see that okay?
Yep.
Nice. So I'll put my glove back on. And I might start to probe these too, just to see where they're at.
What did the temperature come back up to?
It came back up to about 350.
Okay. I was curious how fast it would go because it was like at 149 or something. I was curious.
Well, sort of after making sort of all those great changes, again, not the changes that were great, but the changes to the great. Sort of after doing that, it dropped back down to like 190 or something, and then now I can sort of also when I did this, gosh, what was the point I was going to make? So I had all the charcoal sort of off to one side, sort of on a wall, and and then I added in more charcoal so that sort of this side will get cooked too.
Yeah.
And that side may not be fully lit yet. Yeah. So, but once it does get fully done though, I think we'll have a higher temperature. Anyway, let's go ahead and probe some of these. $130, $140. So, Mark, question: what temperature do you cook thighs to versus breast?
I'm a time guy.
Interesting. So well, hold on. So, if you're a time guy, have you or have you not had some medium rare chicken before?
Once or twice. I'm normally pretty good. But it tends to probably be a hair over.
Right. No, I mean, so typically what I do, um, for breast, I'll just do, the standard 165, you know, but when I uh when I do thighs, I actually go a little bit higher. I will usually go like 170 or 175 because I find that when you do thighs, um and you cook them like the 160 or 165, they come out just sort of slightly rubbery still.
Yeah.
Um so I always like to go a little hotter with the with like the thighs. So I'm gonna open that back up a little bit. So there's two vents on this, and
Okay.
like the bottom one will really be it's like the main factor that like determines sort of how hot it is. Um, so previously when sort of everything was going cattywampus, I actually sort of closed off the bottom bit because I didn't want to risk it getting any or doing sort of any further damage basically.
Gotcha.
Um, but, but I've opened it back up now, and it's yeah, I mean it's starting to rise again. It's about 280 right now, and it's going about 10, sort of 5 to 10 degrees every second or so.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I got this flame gun for Christmas actually, and
I think
it's
cool.
oh yeah. Here, let me. Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's fun, but it's not very responsible. Now, I mean, I bought this because when you're lighting a bunch of charcoal up, um, there we go. Um, so when you're lighting up a bunch of charcoal, I find that those little smaller sort of kitchen torches, they just won't cut it. Yeah, I
No.
mean that's what I had before. Um, and sort of everybody that like I watch on YouTube, when they're using theirs, they're like, no, you got to have one of these like these big ass, fire
Well, I think
guns.
you
And
get more even. The charcoal heats up more evenly with something
that's
like
true too. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because with like a lot a wider range or whatever, um, that will allow you to hit sort of more charcoal than you know if you had one of those sort of smaller guns. You're really just focusing your effort on one piece of charcoal and kind of sort of kind of relying on that one charcoal to light all the other ones, and then it takes a lot longer. So so yeah, so that's why I got the bigger one, but it's also really cool and badass.
yeah.
So.
It's fun.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, so once these are cooked and everything, I'm gonna throw them into that little oven, uh, just to keep them
It's
warm.
keep warm where you do the
Yeah,
rice.
yeah, yeah. I'll do the
Should
rice.
be.
The rice, the rice shouldn't take too long at all. I mean, I'm just gonna toast some spices in there first, and then we'll actually put the rice in. Like the chutney stuff shouldn't take too long either because it's really just uh, really just throwing stuff in a blender basically.
Yeah.
So, um, but yeah. So how long have we been going here? I actually don't know how long we've been going.
For the whole stream or
Yeah, yeah, for the whole stream. Let
2
me
hours
see.
and 15 minutes.
Okay, okay. Well, that's not too bad. I thought it was going to be worse. I thought that this was going to be like a 4 hour stream, but again, I think I can wrap it up in three probably.
Nice. That'll give me 7 hours of streaming today.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. So you did
We did 4 today.
Or yeah. So you did 4 on yours. Wow.
We had a
Let's see,
good chat going, and people were fun in the chat, and
yeah, of course.
I like some people are just more fun and more interesting, and John D's always interesting when he's in the chat.
Oh, he's great. Yeah, he's great.
He's always got some good stuff, and then Treble and some of the other guys. It was just good. It was a good mix, and having Brian's on makes the stream go fast too. Brian's good.
Oh yeah. I mean, Brian is great. Brian probably has like the quickest wit like of anybody that like I know. He's super quick.
Yeah. And George was on. George came on and showed his Oris. I told Brian, I said, it's weird. This is gonna sound weird, but he's talked about this the Oris that he had a lot. And I guess it was at his Southern California home.
Right.
So he grabbed it. And he's like, hey, I wanted to show you this because I've talked about it. I said, as many amazing watches as he has shown, in some ways, I was more excited to see the Oris because I'd been anticipating it for so long,
Right, exactly.
It was a bronze case, Diver 65 Corona.
I never got into Oris, but again, I do appreciate that George. So, sort of George, sort of someone of his sort of stature and sort of overall a success.
Yeah.
He is someone that can appreciate sort of all watches, again, sort of not just like the super high end stuff, but he can also appreciate, like the little guys, like Oris.
I always liked Oris. I like some of their watches, but I always appreciated Oris because not just because of the philanthropic stuff that they do, which they do a lot of, but they're really good to the watch community. They have those jet stream trailers that they take out to different watch events and stuff. Like they're really good with like content creators, getting them watches and stuff to do reviews of. I mean, they do a lot to promote the greater watch community. So I always kind of appreciated that aspect of what they do.
Well, and didn't they do like the great sort of barrier reef sort of?
Yeah, they've done. I mean, a lot of those. But that Great Barrier Reef watch is beautiful. In person. When you see that thing in person, it's stunning. One of the guys at the watch store that I bought the Omegas here recently at owns that Great Barrier Reef watch, and it's he loves that watch. He has nicer watches too. He said, but he wears that one a lot. And it's really beautiful dial and a beautiful bezel on it. I like the Aquis. I like the Pro Pilots. I like everything they do. I've owned a few over the years, and they're just nice watches. Good.
Yeah,
good.
definitely. So okay, so I think the chicken breast is good.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get all the breast out. And the thighs will cook a little bit longer. But we're getting close though.
Yeah.
Getting close.
They look good.
Oh yeah, they're very, nice and charred. Some of them a little too charred, maybe. But that's all right though.
Well, that probably some of that is from making the change, and then the one side being hotter because you had to put charcoal to the other side. So, but you'll have that. They don't look overcharred from this angle. So, up your throats. Can you hear us, Logan Hall's Grill Streams? Guess not. If you're just joining us, he's making tandoori chicken from scratch, which is amazing. I've had tandoori chicken many times, but I've never actually tried to make it. It seemed like a long, complicated dish to cook. But I will get it when I'm out. It's delicious. Uh-oh. Huh. Well, there you go. I don't have keys or anything here, so you're just gonna have to look at my big ugly mug until Logan gets logged back on. Where it currently is moving the chicken breasts, is going to cook the thighs a little bit longer, and then he doesn't like the thighs to be rubbery, which I 100% agree with. But he made both marinades for the chicken, and then he's going to be making some basmati rice and 2 chutneys. A red and a green are coming up. Hard to beat. It's hard to find someone that'll make that kind of stuff. So I'm sitting here in the Lucha lair, if you will. I did 4 hours worth of streaming earlier. Hopefully you guys caught some of that. I am currently wearing the Oreo, which I consider to be the best sport GMT watch on the market. The black and white bezel is amazing. I love the exhibition case back, showing off the 8906 movement. It's basically the 8900 with a GMT on it. It is a big, thick, chunky monkey of a watch. And it does have a helium escape valve. It is good to 600 meters or 2,000 feet in the water. And the bracelet, I love this bracelet on this watch. I mean, it's a big, heavy watch. There's nothing light about this watch. And it's thick, but it's a badass piece. It really is. It's good looking and tough and good to 600 meters worth of water resistance. Features a double barrel coaxial escapement movement. It also features the quick set hour hand. It is a true or traveler's GMT. I have my GMT hand set to GMT time. And you can technically do 3 time zones when you have the rotating bezel. It is a dive watch, but it is not ISO certified dive because the bezel does move in both directions. But got good clicks, 120 click bezel. You can certainly use this to time anything, including a dive. But if you get to the top and you go one over, you don't have to spin it the whole way around again because it goes in reverse as well.
Hey, hey, sorry about that, Mark.
All right,
So
do a little watch talk. I didn't have any food to show them.
no, well, thank you. Yeah, so my phone died.
Oh,
Yeah, so well, wait a minute. I thought that it was because sometimes the phone will get too hot and it will shut down, like for safety. But no, I mean it just straight up died.
yeah.
So again, so I'm back on my other phone. I have 2 phones. I have a work phone and just like a normal personal phone. Yeah. So now I'm on my work phone. Hopefully they don't mind if I'm using up all this data. But hey man, hey man, it's like the
Whatever
girl
works.
stream. Yeah, again, it's like the girl stream must go on, right?
Exactly.
So,
I've been flirting around with the idea of upgrading. I still have an iPhone 14 Pro Max, and I'm like, should I get a 16 or should I wait to see what comes out next? There's nothing wrong with my phone.
right.
I'm like, yeah, I'll just keep it for now. And, I did buy a new case for it the other day.
Oh, okay, nice.
I like the clear cases, guys. I like the clear cases. I got the deep purple. When I bought this phone, I said, "Oh, what colors does it come in? What colors do you have?" And he said, "Silver, deep purple." I said, "Stop right there. You have something called deep purple? I'm a fan."
Yeah, buy it. Yeah. No, that's
Say no
awesome.
more, sir.
Say no more.
But I like the clear cases. But the problem with the clear cases, after a few months, they get kind of like they tarnish or whatever. They patina.
Yes.
And
yes, this is how it's turning out.
oh, that looks perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I think that looks perfect.
Yeah.
Because that, so you have the char marks, but you have that kind of like that. I don't want to say glaze, but you know what I'm talking about. That the way it looks, like it's.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's a look that a good tandoori chicken has.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm glad that I. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad like I ditched like the whole. It's like the first way that I was doing it with like the skewers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a good move.
Absolutely. Yeah, because it was all you were gonna do is frustrate the crap out of yourself.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I've done that a lot before.
I mean,
so they're getting close.
Now, what temperature do you want to cook these to? I forgot.
I'm actually going for about 175.
Okay.
That one's
And
good.
175 will keep it from having that kind of rubbery. Those are the thighs.
Yes, these are. Yes, these are the thighs. Actually, that one can go just a little bit more. That one's good. That one's good.
And then they're going to internalize a little bit still after you take them off. And then you're going to put them in the warming oven. So they're going to.
They're going to stay warm. Exactly.
So, which is all very important, especially with chicken.
Oh, for sure. That one's almost there. Almost there.
I want a picture of Dear Artifacts pizza when he's done. I want to see Instagram.
Yeah, we should we should brutally judge his pizza like we do with Moses.
Exactly.
Oh man. So there's about 4 more that are finishing up here. So I'm just going to hang out here.
All right.
And let them finish up here. But let me show you what we have so far. Let me change the camera up just a little bit.
Oh,
so this is what we have.
Nice.
They're looking very, very good.
Really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
so
a little bit of char, but not,
yeah.
Because those little pieces of char really make it. The spices and the marinades, it's all really good. But you get the little caramelized pieces that just I wouldn't want the whole thing to be that way.
No.
But it's nice it's like a bite delight, Yeah,
well, right. I mean, there's definitely going to be like a couple sacrifices here from like this batch, right? I mean, I was already noticing like some were a little bit more charred than I wanted them to, but that's fine. That's fine. I mean, I cooked a lot of chicken, right? So there's going to be a lot that's good,
Plus, with the chutney and the rice, when you cut them up with the chutney and the rice, it's just
delicious. So, sort of every time like I've eaten, eaten at like a Indian restaurant, it's like the sauces and like the chutney.
It's the flavor, yeah.
Rice.
There is a depth of flavor in Indian food that you do not find like an Italian, say. Like
exactly.
There's just it's layered so well. Are there any other Indian dishes that you order when you're out?
Like the basic, butter chicken or like the chicken.
Okay.
Like the chicken. Well, anyway, I mean, I haven't fully gotten like to sort of all the Indian dishes. So, but again, I mean, it's kind of impossible. Like, like the list is endless, right?
Exactly. So 2 of my favorites that I order a lot are, one is called Malai Kofta.
Okay.
And it's really good. The sauce is just amazing in that. And then there's something called aloo gobi, which is a cauliflower potato dish. Less
Oh, okay.
less saucy is the aloo gobi. But that's always amazing. And then when I cook, I'll make a kormas a lot, like a navratan, like a vegetable korma or a shrimp korma. I'll make those are a little bit easier because you're just making the sauce, you're cooking it on the stove, you're not, and it's usually just the sauce and a lot of vegetables, and if I put shrimp in it or so, I rarely put chicken in it, usually shrimp, but
Right.
I should use the rest of my shrimp and make one of those tonight.
So do you buy shrimp like in bulk?
Yeah. And then I hate to freeze it sometimes because it just doesn't.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, there's some things that just don't work when you freeze it.
So there will definitely be a shrimp dish tonight or tomorrow. Probably tonight. I'll probably make something tonight. Make like a korma sauce. It's just which isn't that hard to make.
Right.
Well,
I mean, the other, I guess, country that I think has just crazy flavor is a Thai food.
I love Thai food. Yeah.
Thai food is really, really good. Like the curries and like the tom yum soups and
tom yum soup is amazing. I love the Thai basil dishes, like a Thai basil.
Thai basil, exactly.
Is great. The peanut dishes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of it now. It's terrible, but those are really good. But yeah, like a spicy Thai basil, shrimp and chicken there's a dish that I get. It's called Mai Tai.
Yes,
I'll get from there, and it's so good. It's just so delicious. But yeah, and again, that's another one with there are just layers to that flavor that
Yeah, I mean, I find it
so good.
I find that it's the broth that really makes the meal.
Yeah,
for sure. So we're just about done here, I think.
Nice.
Let me check the temperature one more time. All right, so we got one thigh left.
Okay.
All right, so I'll let that one sit for another 30 seconds or so, and then we're gonna head back inside and make some rice. So, did you have any other plans today, or did I?
Oh no, I was just relaxing Sunday.
Yeah,
was the plan, and I was just sort of hanging out, and I saw you were on. I was like, "Oh, Logan's on."
There you go.
For this, and then you're like, "Hey, if you want to come on," I'm like, "Oh, why not? I'm watching anyway."
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, I mean, it's always good to have somebody like to talk food with, sort of as you do this stuff, So again, so thank you for coming on. I do appreciate that.
Oh, no problem. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Like I said, I appreciate the stuff that you do because you do it from scratch.
Oh, yes.
And so you're not these aren't like cheat recipes.
No.
You're making something, you're actually making it. Like I said, I appreciate it. I give you huge kudos because I love to cook from scratch, but to sit there and film it has just got to be so, what I mean? Like here's a picture. Here's what I did.
Right. And for these longer cooks, it's really tough tough like to talk to audience like for 4 hours, right?
Yeah.
Well, again, since like you do that sort of every Sunday morning, but sort of sometimes you will have Brian on like and George and all that, right? So
Right.
so I mean it's like they definitely make it sort of much easier. But
It's much easier when there's someone to bounce stuff off of, or
oh
to,
yeah,
because there's
yeah,
times when if you're doing a long stream, like when I did all those community streams,
uh
there were a lot of days where no one would jump on the panel,
yeah.
and it's just me talking for 3, 4, 5 hours, and I get tired of hearing my own voice after a while.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and also there. I mean, as someone who stutters, like I mean, it's like it's tough to talk with just for like a little bit, sort of even like an hour. But
Yeah,
again, sort of having somebody like to bounce things off of, and it'd be more sort of a conversational. So
exactly.
that's a big plus too, because sometimes like you might get stuck on something and you can't exactly say what you want to say, but sometimes when you have another person on the panel, then they can be like, "Oh, did you mean to say blank?" And you're like, "Yeah, that's what I've been trying to say."
Yeah,
So
exactly.
uh, yeah. So I think that last thighs is pretty much done here. Let's
Nice.
go ahead and take that guy off. Yeah,
Very
look at that.
That's perfect. That looks
Yeah.
so good.
All right. So
Now's when I
typical.
want some smell-o-vision.
I know, man. I know, man. It's really, I mean, like it's 2025. How come we don't have that yet?
Yeah, why hadn't we invented that yet?
Exactly.
How about the thing I sent you yesterday, the Brian Rust?
Yeah. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that he's a good. I love Brian Rust. He's not a superstar, but he's really good.
Yeah.
And he's for a long time been an advocate for people with a stutter and stuff, because
Right.
he had it, he has it, and I just think it's always so great that he gives back. I love people who give back. And
100%. Yeah.
but he's like I said, he's a Notre Dame guy, and he scored the game-winning goal in the Eastern Conference Finals against Tampa Bay in, I think, 2016. I think the year that they played San Jose in the finals. He scored he actually scored. I think they only scored 2 goals that game. Maybe they had an empty netter later, but he scored both of them. And there's this funny scene where the guy sitting next to him on the bench is mic'd up.
Oh yeah.
When he scored the second goal and they went back to the bench and they're sitting there, and he's like, "How does it feel to have become a Pittsburgh legend?"
Yeah, exactly.
Because he scored 2 goals in the conference finals.
Wow.
But yeah, he's always been good about advocacy and not shying away from it. You know what I mean? Like to say, well, this is what it is. That's why one of the reasons I appreciate what you do on these streams is that they care. It is what it is, but
Exactly. So I'm going to move these to the oven here.
Yes.
Put all these off to one side. So for the rice, I'll be using a few different sort of similar ingredients.
Okay.
So it's like there's actually going to be some shaved sort of a red onion. There's
Okay.
going to be a cinnamon stick involved. So there's a few things there that I think will be really, really
Nice.
good. And
You're going official with it.
oh well, exactly. Sort of this one here. I think that one's slightly too charged, so I'm going to put that one off to the side.
Maybe a little bit, but not terrible.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them come out really bad, but you had to change up midstream, so I think what came out was amazing. Actually, for most people would have just been like, "Fuck it, let them fall into the coals."
Exactly. All right. So I don't think there's going to be enough room for the for the breast too. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to have the thigh tonight, and
Okay.
then I'm going to save this save save the breast probably for like my lunches
Nice.
this week. So I try to get like a lot, Yogan, when I'm doing multi sort of hour streams, I like to get a lot of value out of them too, right? So this is going to be for several meals. So let's go ahead and put some of those in here. All right. Yeah, so I'm just gonna let these sort of come like sort of first come like to room temperature, and then I'll put them in the fridge. I don't like to like
I know exactly what you're
shock food.
saying.
Yeah. I
Because
mean, I don't like
with
to
all
do that.
that, you end up with all that moisture in there,
Yeah, exactly.
and
Exactly.
then the beauty of the grill and the crust is lost.
Exactly. Yeah.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. So I'm gonna let them come to room temperature, and then sort of put them away a little bit later.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead. So the thing that we need to do with the rice, and we can actually use the same bowl here. I'm just gonna rinse this out first. So we're actually gonna let the rice soak for about sort of 10 to 15 minutes. Um, and sort of while we do that,
It is often hotly debated whether you soak your rice first or not.
well, okay. Like, so here's the thing. I don't normally let it soak.
Okay.
So so again, like, so this was just in like the recipe, and I figured, well, okay. If that's Yogan, like if that's how they do it, then I'll do it that way too.
A lot. It's kind of 50-50. And people who do it swear by it. People who don't say, "Oh, it's not unnecessary." I don't know the answer.
Well, the other option is you will rinse it out like you'll rinse it like 2-3 times, or until most of the white
Yeah.
starch is off, right? So I mean, so yes, I mean, I think it's just like a different way of doing it, honestly.
Yeah. I actually have a rice cooker
Oh yeah, of course.
that I use because it's almost like foolproof, and
Right.
Right.
You know what?
You know what it's really good for?
What's that?
The rice cooker is really good for making fried rice. So you cook the rice in there, and then you let it cool off.
Mm-hmm.
Stick the bowl in the fridge, let it cool down, and then you make the fried rice with it. I don't know why it just comes out.
Interesting. Okay. Oh yeah. When you're making fried rice, you always have to use day-old rice.
Right.
Because because if you don't, then like the fresh rice is going to be too sticky,
right.
and you're just going to have globs of rice, everywhere. So what I'm going to do now, I'm actually going to shift over. Well, I'm actually starting to eat this piece here. It's not too bad on this side, but this side is a little bit, too toasted. So let's try it.
We'll taste test.
That's punching with flavor.
And it looks like it. It looks really good.
It's really good. Yeah, that's going to be great. So this is like a saucier pan.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll use that for the rice here. But first we need to use a few of these just like a red onion here. Let's see, you can use a shallot too, but again, I just got some red onions. And I'm gonna slice those with my mandolin over here to make it really, really thin.
Oh, chop off your fingertip.
Yeah, I know, man.
Mandolins are like the worst.
Well, I mean, hey, so this was the pinky that was bad, and it's fully better now. So
nice.
So I'm happy about that. But let me move some stuff over here to give you guys a good shot.
The problem with the mandolin is that the guard is annoying to use.
That's true. It is. It is.
So that's why people always chop themselves up. So like, I'm not using this, and then I've done it myself.
Oh yeah, I'm sure, man. Um, so I have this little glove here that's sort of I guess like a protective thing.
Yeah,
So I'm going to use that because I like keeping all my fingers.
yeah,
I mean, I mean, I don't necessarily have a favorite finger, but I like having all of them.
yeah. I have a
Um,
favorite finger.
oh yeah, Uh, that's good, man. Um, all right, so let's slice up a little bit of this. Um where did my knife? That's okay. I mean, I have several knives, so I'll just pull out another one. Um, so I'm going to get a piece of this out, and I'm going to peel the skin off.
Nice.
Oh, so how many people do we have in the chat right now?
Chat has been dead.
Yeah, that's I figured it would be.
Looks like it's me and you right now.
Oh, well, thank you again for keeping me company. All right. So I have my little glove thing, and I'm gonna. Oh, here. Let's actually see how thin that is.
You got 7 up votes though.
Hey, 7. I'll take it, man. So let's try this first. Let's see how thin that is. It's a little too thick. I want to go.
You want probably if in the race, you probably want that a little bit thinner.
Yeah. And what I always say too, don't be the hero when you're doing this.
Yeah.
Don't try to get super
Every
fine.
piece and
Yeah, exactly. So I might dice this up just a little bit too here. So we have all these sort of stringiness, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just going to give this a rough chop here. And what we'll do, actually, I should turn this iron on here. So I'm just going to roughly chop that. I think that works out pretty good. And then we'll use that here. I will use the grapeseed oil again. Mark, what is your take on the whole seed oil thing?
I don't. It depends on what I'm making. I normally I use a lot of olive oil when I cook, but I keep a little bit of grapeseed oil and peanut oil for different dishes.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't use so much of it that it's going to be unhealthy.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's not like a big deal, but normally olive oil just because it's so neutral that if I'm making something, I can make you. So like when you're cooking, like if you're dressing something, you want a better olive oil, but just for cooking,
True.
olive oil. I mean, you don't need the fancy expensive olive oil to cook with.
No.
In fact, it probably hurts your dish.
Yeah, I mean, right. I mean, right. I'm the same way. I don't really have an issue with it. But again, sort of Moses was like, oh, bro, I don't use any the seed oil shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's a wild guy. Do you think you're going to sort of going back to the whole his sort of a 2-episode stint? Do you think he just lost interest, or do you think that he wasn't happy with like the ratings, or
probably a little of both, but I would think that most of it is like if you watch that back and you see there were glaring mistakes, even just in the last one, like showing the sink with all that crap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like the stuff that just takes the stuff. It takes away from the stuff. Van Lux, he says, "Where's that tandoori oven? He cooked these in the egg."
Yes, I did. I did cook it in the egg. Here, I'll show it off again. Where did I? Oh, sorry. It's actually in the
It's in the oven.
Yeah, it's in the oven. So again, so that's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's warming in the oven, but those were all cooked in the egg.
That's right. That's right. All right. So let's put you back over here. Get you a good angle here. I think that works out pretty well. I'm gonna set these off to the side here. I have too much junk. It's like too much cooking equipment.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and add in the onion. Sort of not quite, sort of super hot yet, but this will come up to temperature.
Yeah.
And for the spices, so we have the onion. We'll do a bit of cardamom powder. So let's do. Yeah, here we go. We'll go ahead and add a little bit. Sometimes these little tops are a little bit too.
Yeah.
Too sort of restrictive, I guess. Let's see. We'll use a bit of cloves as well. So cloves.
Are you doing crushed cloves or full cloves?
I'm just doing the powder. I actually don't have any of like the whole cloves, unfortunately. But here's where we use something.
Whole cloves are the secret ingredient in my chicken soup.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think sort of any time that you can use something whole, then it's going to taste better, I think.
Let's see. When I make when I boil down the chicken to make the stock, the whole cloves are the secret ingredient.
Exactly. So here's the cinnamon stick. So that goes into, and then then we're actually going to use some cumin seed here. Instead of the powder.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to do a little bit of those. And a little bit of salt. But then that's going to be it in terms of the seasonings for that.
So that was the onion, the coriander, the cumin seeds, the cinnamon stick,
and salt. Yeah.
And salt. Perfect.
Yep.
And that's going to balance out your rice, like in your rice, and give it good flavor.
Exactly. I wish I could make this so that you guys can see this a little bit better. Let me try to jigger something up here. Okay, so now I'm dropping stuff.
Don't drop.
Right, so that's a little bit better.
I'm still here. I'm just grabbing some crackers.
All right, yeah, go for it.
I promised Brian I would eat my lunch and watch my blood sugar, but why worry when you have extra toasty Cheez-Its sitting around?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And if I'm stopping you from having lunch or whatever, man.
Oh no, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. I'm enjoying the heck out of watching this actually.
Yeah, good. It's just like the old days of actual cooking shows, like sort of again, like the big one that I used to watch with my mom was basically sort of basically it was Emerald Lagasse.
Oh yeah, bam.
Yeah, bam, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that was fun, because that kind of opened me up into like the whole world of cooking and whatnot. But again, I just found it so. Again, so I found it so interesting, just like to watch watch someone cook and watch something you can sort of something to actually come together, like
Right.
like in just a matter of like a 20 to 30 minute show. Now they do have some TV magic, of course, right? But again, I really sort of like that. And again, we do have a YouTube now, of course, and there's tons of cooking channels on there. Do you watch any sort of YouTube channels for cooking?
Oh yeah. So there's a lot of stuff I'll stumble across, but here, let me I'll click over to there. So let me flip down through these. Where's my cooking channels? There's a few that I watch a lot. America's Test Kitchen.
Yeah, they're good.
I like Lan Lim. There's Not Another Cooking Show. Like
Yeah,
that.
he's good.
Yeah. Who else I got in here? Got like 2 or 3 more. Oh, Sam the Cooking Guy.
Yeah,
His fun.
he's fun. He's fun. He's got his son doing the camera and then like his
Yeah.
friend doing the camera too. I used to watch him a lot more. I don't watch him all that much now. He'll just sort of not feel like I don't like the guy. I mean, he's still good and everything, but I find sort of his stuff. I feel like is very much sort of simplified, I guess.
Yeah.
Again, sort of what I typically do, is I try to go sort of the extra mile, right?
Mm-hmm. And then there's so I like him because he does a lot of breakfast, so I get ideas.
Oh, okay.
More so I get ideas for breakfast dishes from him.
I got you.
And there's a channel called Feast Hub that I like.
Okay.
And Food Wishes is another one. I'm just going through my favorites, like where so I remember them. And then there's a goofy show is called Mythical Kitchen. It's not as much as sometimes not as much cooking. It's just goofing around, but sometimes you get something. And then Logan Hall's Grill Streams, like that one too.
Oh, geez. That guy's kind of a jerk, man. I mean, I would just do like an unsub sort of.
Unsub from that guy.
Yeah. No. I mean, the Mythical guys, they have been on YouTube probably since the beginning. They so they didn't start out doing cooking. I think that they were doing sort of
they did a lot of taste tests. I remember them going like Wendy's versus McDonald's and stuff like that.
Right.
But they got that Josh who started doing who was cooking for them, and then they kind of spun off the cooking channel. And he does they're not like when they actually cook stuff, it's cool. A lot of it's funny, fun stuff, but
right.
It's okay to watch and you get an idea. I always say if you find an idea from something, that's good. So like Sam the Cooking Guy, I never follow his recipe, but
right.
I look to see what he's cooking for ideas, and a lot of them I get plating ideas too.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, I mean, there's this one guy on YouTube that like I always watch for plating. His name is Luchabetic Mark. Have you heard of him?
I've heard of that
guy. Yeah. So for me, there's really two guys that I draw a lot of inspiration from. The first guy is a guy named Joshua Wiseman. So he started out on YouTube like 5 or 7 years ago or something, and so he never went to culinary school, but he did work at a lot of high end restaurants, and so that's how he got his knowledge. So I've been watching him for like a long time. He has started to kind of shift to, I guess, sort of everything else that like the other YouTubers are doing. Like it's not so much cooking anymore, but it's like who which fast food chain has the best breakfast sandwich or whatever.
I know who he
It's
is.
like a ranking stuff.
Yeah. When you said that, now I know who he is. Yeah. He's
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
He did
yeah,
the
and
breakfast show where they had
yeah.
all the different, they had the competition of all the different breakfasts from around the world.
Yes, and he does this other form where like he will rank like all the sandwiches of the world, but he will actually make the sandwiches himself,
Right.
right? So again, so when he's doing sort of actual cooking, yeah, I mean, I'll still wash, but when it's purely just like, oh, who has the best,
Yeah.
So I don't really care for that.
There's only so much of that I can take.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I mean, I did mention that like there's two guys that like I really follow. So the second guy, I think he has a YouTube channel, but he's way bigger on Instagram and TikTok. It's like his name is, it's like his name is, sorry, it's basically Jorgensen. Here, I'll spell it. Notorious foodie.
Notorious foodie.
Yes. So he's this guy. I think he's from like the Middle East. I'm not really sure. But again, just sort of think of me times 10.
Okay.
So he makes everything really authentic. And he will go out when he will order a specialty ingredients sort of off the internet, sort of if he has to. Um, but uh, but yeah, just think of my food, but again, sort of 10 times better.
Right. He's like, come on out. Let me kill a chicken.
Yeah, oh, I mean that'd be pretty crazy. Yeah, to actually do like the butchering of a cow, or so I don't think they would let that
Yeah.
on on YouTube. While the rice cooks, I think we can go ahead and start the chutneys too.
All right.
So let's take that off for. Let me take a look. Let's see. Make
So
green
chutneys are like side sauces that
side
even
sauces.
add
Exactly.
another level of magnificent flavor to the dish.
Exactly. You nailed it. So we will actually build this in the blender, and then I'll go over there and blend it. But
Okay.
so one thing that I thought was kind of crazy that I could not find was fresh coriander leaves. I could not find any of those.
Oh,
Um, so so basically, what we'll be doing today is actually making the green chutney out of parsley.
okay.
Again, not super traditional, but again, you have to use what you got. So I do have fresh parsley.
Nice.
Now this is the part that OC hates, and it's like, geez, he's going to be chopping for 3 hours. No, but no, but no, but these are actually going to go in whole. And
Okay.
like the stems too, actually. But I'm first just going to wash them off a little bit. So let's put that in there, and I'll add in a few stems here too. And I might do just a little bit more. I'm actually got two sprigs or whatever you call
All
them.
right.
So I'm going to do a little bit more, but I'm going to save some for garnish too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's what I'll put in there. Now I also managed to get some fresh mint uh, from uh, from the Asian market. So I'm gonna do that. But first I have to stir this rice here. You know, and I didn't put a timer on that either. Let's do like 10 minutes on that.
Now, I love when you go to an Indian restaurant, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's like kind of wafery. Like before you order, they'll bring out the chutneys. There's always a mint chutney, and they bring out that kind of like unleavened waver crackery thing. I don't know what it's called. When you break pieces off it.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know what they're called either, but yes, I mean, I've seen what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's delicious. It's mostly the chutney.
Oh yeah,
but
for
so
sure.
good.
So I'm gonna add in this mint. I'm gonna save some of the mint because I think we actually use that in the other chutney too.
Okay.
So I'm gonna keep some of that off to the side. Let's see. Oh yeah, a few chunks of red onion. So we had chopped up some of this earlier, but I'm gonna start to use the other half here too. And I'll peel off the skin. And then let's just kind of roughly chop these into chunks. Thankfully, no limbs have been lost during this episode. And I'll do now again. I'm gonna knock on some wood here because I don't want that to happen again. But there's that. You know, I'll save some of this red onion for the red chutney too.
Okay.
So now let's get a few pieces of ginger. I had chopped these up at the start of the stream. So I'll do. That's probably good there. Let's do. Oh yeah, okay. So we'll do these green chilies now. So I'll cut off the tops of these. Oh, but this is what they look like.
Okay. What kind of chilies are they? Are they serranos?
No, they're actually I'm a little bit thinner than those. So yes, I mean the label that was on them was just green. Well, okay, so it was like green finger hot chilies.
Okay.
So I had never heard of them before, but again, you know, I figured, well, I mean, it's going to make a great chutney. So, so I'm gonna do probably like 10 of these.
Man, Lux says you're cutting too much of the tops off.
Oh well, here, I'll do here. So there's barely some of the tops there. Oh, you know what? Yeah, let's tilt this up a little bit more. Let's do that. I'll do a couple more. And boom. So we got the green chilies. So okay. So this next one here, I kind of had to compromise again. So I do have some tamarind sauce, you know, paste or whatever. The recipe called for like real sort of actual tamarind, but I couldn't find that either. So I'm just gonna douse this in a bit of that sauce. I'll save some of that for the other chutney too. Now this next one here, I did actually find this. So let me, gosh, where did I put that? Oh, here it is. So this is called, it's called a jaggery. And it's basically like the Indian version of like a brown sugar or a molasses, basically. Okay. So again, it's like I have it here. It's like this powder form. But the video that I was watching, the guy actually had it in like, I mean, it almost looks like some sort of like gel gummy form. So anyway, so I'm gonna do yeah, two teaspoons of that. Let's get this out again.
What does it say what the ingredients are in it? Or?
Yeah, so it's natural coconut, blossom nectar, peanuts, other tree nuts, soy, milk, wheat, and sesame.
All right.
So we'll do 2 teaspoons of that. And then we'll do two teaspoons of salt. And I'm just gonna eyeball that one. And then 2 teaspoons of cumin powder. Let's see, cumin. Here's our cumin. Okay, so now I have to go back down like the
Yeah.
half teaspoon because it won't
Yeah,
fit.
I know.
All right, 2 teaspoons of cumin. 1, 2. Let's see. Okay, so this is the other part that I thought was interesting. This next part, they ask you to use some ice cubes because for 2 reasons. One, you need to have a little bit of water in there, but
Yeah.
then two, normally when you blitz all this stuff up, it gets very hot. But this is meant to be it's like a cold chutney.
Right.
So I'm gonna just use this measuring cup and get some ice cubes. Yeah. It's probably good. And then, okay, so they do ask for a little bit of water too, so I'm just gonna give it. All right, so we can add more water later on if we need to, but let's go ahead and put this on. I'll bring you over here too, so you can see it blitzing. So let's put you over here. Kind of put you back a little bit. Let's get the lid. Where did I put the lid? Here we go, the lid. So this will be loud, so just sort of go on mute if you want, but all right, you know what? Let's cover it up too. Let's do that. All right. All right. Let's taste it. See if it needs any more salt or anything like that. Let me wash this spoon off. All right. Wow, that's really flavorful. I will add some more salt. Just a little. And I'll do one more blitz on that.
All right.
All right. So I have little containers here. So I'm going to go ahead and pour some into one of these for serving.
Okay.
And then I'm going to get another container, or basically they're just like the store later, but again, so I'm just going to pour some of that in here. All right, so there's the green chutney.
Looks good.
Yeah, and I'm going to pour the rest in the container here. And then we'll have to wash this out because I'm going to use the same thing
for the reds.
Yeah, for the red. Yeah, I mean, almost just like a green smoothie. You know, you take sort of prior to working out or something. But I'll give this a rinse.
It's almost like a spiced pesto since you use.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So this is rinsed off. I also need to do the lid too, actually. Let's do that. Something that I will, well, you know what? I'll wait until the rice is done. So again, I mean, I think I showed you earlier, but I'm not doing my own. Again, I'm not doing like my own
Yeah,
non-bread.
those are great. I get those all the time.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah, they're great. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to throw these on the grill. Here, sort of after sort of everything is done. They're only going to take like a couple of minutes, like to heat
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, those heat up real good, but those are really good. I like those. I get those a lot. I'll make little pizzas with those.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Let me shut my thing up there.
Unlike the artifacts who make their own pizza from scratch, I cheat.
Well, okay. So it's like there's different levels of cheating with pizza. You can sort of go again. You can go fully out, and you can make your own dough, or you can actually so here's like the cinnamon stick.
There you go.
So we're done with that.
Van
So you
Luck
can
says
either,
non-pizza is good. It is. Non-pizza is great.
yeah.
I don't have the ambition to make my own naan.
Right. Right. So you want, yeah. So you basically want, like you basically want none of that, right?
Yeah, exactly. None of that. I have none of that.
None of that. So let's taste this. Wow. Yeah, I mean that's so much better than just plain old.
Yeah.
So I'll let that stay warm under the lid there, and then now we're gonna make the red chutney. So let me flip over here. Let's see. So add the following. All right. So we don't have as many red chilies as I kind of hoped for. I actually ended up using several of them in like the very first step to make
Okay.
make the make the sauce, I guess, thicker, right? So let me clean off this. Again, this gets very messy very quickly.
Don't do a Moses.
Oh yeah, and so the sink, right? No sinks allowed here. Let's kind of move that off to the side. So let's get the red chilies. So I've got 4 red chilies. So this will be, I guess, slightly smaller like in volume, but that's all right. Let's put that there. Let's put the green chutney off to the side here. We'll use that more in just a minute. But for the I lost my pages here. All right. So red chilies again. I'll chop off the tops. All right, and then let's get this blender here. I'll start throwing stuff in. So pop those in. Let's see. A bit more parsley. There's that. Let's see. A bit more mint leaves. Yeah. Let's put some of this in. There's that. Let's see. We'll do more of the tamarind paste. That's probably all of that bottle, actually. I'll have to get more. And then, whoops, 8 to 10 cloves of garlic. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10. Let's see. 2 teaspoons of cumin. So let's get that back up. Where did I put that? There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some more cumin too.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you do big cooks like these, you know, it
Use a
basically,
lot of stuff.
yeah, you use a lot of stuff basically. Let's see. So this one actually calls for a few more green chilies. I'm gonna, let's see, I'm gonna chop the tops off of this. 1, 2, 3.
I don't know if I would probably go 3 because you didn't have as many red peppers as you thought.
Yeah, that's you know what, you make a great point. I'm think, you know what, let's just do 1.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, I ultimately want this to be red and not green.
Yeah.
so, so 2 teaspoons of that jaggery stuff.
The Jagoff sauce.
The Jagoff sauce, exactly. 2 teaspoons salt. Roughly 2 teaspoons. Now this one asked for oil and not water. Oh, no, so sorry. It does ask for water. So we'll do a bit of oil, and then I'll add a bit of water from this water bottle here. All right, and we'll blitz this too. So I'll take you guys back over here. This. All right, take you guys here. There's that. Let's do. Oh, here's the lids. And cover this up. And we'll hit. Or, it'll start out low.
Did you add any salt to that?
Yeah,
Okay.
just a little bit. Whew. Yeah, that's hot. Yeah, you never. So you shouldn't really stick your face into something that you just sort of blitzed up. But I did that, so don't follow what I do. Let's see. I had one more ramekin here, so yeah, here we go. So this one didn't turn out as red as it was in the video, but that's okay. I'm glad you said the thing about like the green chilies, because I would have made it more
Much
green.
more green.
That's good. That's good. I like that. So, Mark, we have nearly made it to the end here. I'm going to go. I'm going to go put this black of 9 on the grill.
Okay.
And then I'll come back.
So we have the tandoori chicken is warming in the oven, the thighs. We have a green and a red chutney. The rice is warming under the cover. The rice, I bet, is amazing with the ingredient, with the onion and the the coriander and cumin and cinnamon. That's probably just amazing. Like just the rice alone would be amazing. He's got the naan warming up on the grill, so we'll be plating this up here in a minute, which is going to be very cool. This all looks delicious.
So I've also got that plate from earlier on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I meant to actually keep this on the grill, and sort of, I guess to keep it hot.
Oh, like a plate, yeah.
Yeah.
That had that wooden insert you can put it in.
Well, I mean, so thankfully, you can take that off.
Okay.
So what I may end up doing is I'm gonna go put this on the grill with the naan real quick and try to heat this up because there's actually one more thing we need to do. We need to grate up some of this green bell pepper and then the white onion. So I'll put this back and see if I can get it hot.
Get her heated up. Come out like a sizzling fajita platter, This is good. So if you guys, anybody who's watching this now and or later on, the time and the effort that he puts into making this stuff from scratch is pretty impressive. And then to go through and show, I cook a lot. I don't show you guys how I do it. I just show you the plate. This is a little bit harder work. Takes a little bit longer to make sure you got your camera set up and your angles and stuff. So if you do watch it, even if you watch it later, please give this a thumbs up. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, I mean, again, for every grill stream I do, I try to make like a summary video of it too. So I might get like we're probably over 3 hours now. But again, I will, probably sometime next week, I will get to getting this down into like a 10 or 15-minute summary so that it's a bit more digestible, I guess. Yeah. So for this final part, let's shave off a little bit of this green bell pepper. Again, this might look a little bit weird to do it here on the mandolin, but that's how I've seen it done in other videos too. The thing with the peppers, you got to be careful because once you make that first cut, it really becomes wobbly. Yeah, but that's the onion is a solid piece. Right. Once you take the top off of that, you get to the cuts where it's not even. Right. Yeah. Well, this one's holding together all right. Nice. Yeah. So we will use that sort of as a bed for the chicken itself, but then we're also going to do that with a bit of leftover white onion. Okay. Now, even if this plate doesn't get super hot, like I'm still going to do it. Yeah. You're going to do it this way. Just again, you can sort of more for presentation purposes. Yeah. I can appreciate that. Yeah. So let's try this. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. So we'll kind of mix that around a little bit. Yeah, I'll go grab that, and then I think we are pretty much ready to plate up. Nice. So what I think I'll do, I will actually plate up outside so that there's better lighting. Okay. So I'm gonna let's see. Let's bring this outside. I'll come back and get you here in a minute. Yeah, that's fine. Nice. So plating is obviously anyone who follows the Luchabetic Underground on YouTube or follows me on Instagram know that I love a well-plated dish. I think it's I truly believe you eat with your eyes first. So I'm kind of excited to see how this comes out. Yeah. So obviously
obviously, so Lucha is like it's like the plating king. But I mean, I do want to see how well I can pull this off here. So I'll be right back.
Chicken, 2 sauces, rice. Looks like a bed of heated onion and pepper, and some naan. Should be pretty good. It's a good meal.
Yeah, I'll make several
Yeah,
different meals out of this.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I think I'll plate it on the actual board itself.
Okay.
So I'm going to bring this out, and then I'll come back for you.
The culmination of the grill stream is upon us. Where are we at? 3 hours and 31 minutes. Nice.
And I'll plate the rice too.
Yeah. So part of the when we're talking about like how I just show the finished product is because it takes a long time. When you make all these marinades yourself and sauces yourself, I mean, there's time involved.
It's tough, man. But grilling ain't easy.
Grill streaming is hard.
It's hard, guys. Let's see one now. Let's see. All right, that looks pretty good from a rice perspective. I'll garnish with a little bit of parsley here. Again, I mean, it should be, it's like it should be a coriander, but I don't have coriander.
Yeah.
So what I'll do, I will. Let's see. Let's take you guys outside. So I'll leave you guys right here for. I caught you guys just in time before you fell. All right. So let's put you guys there. I'll put the rice down here. Let's put the chutneys here. And so now I'm gonna. Oh, you know what? I mean, I'm actually need to go get the chicken. So
Chicken.
so
We
I'll
need
be-
the star of the show.
Yeah, exactly.
There's steam coming off that rice. Propane tank in front is for these light up the charcoal torch, because Logan Hall has the best kitchen stuff to I bet those chutneys are amazing. That green minty chutney is, I bet, so good. That stuff's so good. Like I said, the thing with Indian food is the layers of flavor that you get out of it. It's just so tasty. Chicken should be coming out here soon. And we'll be ready. We'll be ready to eat.
All right.
Here it comes.
So I got some chicken. I need to take off the hot plate.
Yes.
We'll put that on.
We need the hot plate and the naan.
The hot plate and the naan. That's right. So now we're going to build this bed.
I'm putting those in a hot plate, almost like fajitas.
Yeah, exactly. Add a few more pieces of red onion.
Nice.
Let's see, a little bit of parsley.
Garnish and delicious.
That's right, man. That's right. Okay, I think we have a finished plate here. So
All right.
let me show you guys what it looks like.
Oh man. Okay, that looks amazing.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
go
man.
no the other way. Like back up a little bit and so we can get the chutney in the shot too.
Yeah. 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 So just to sort of go round table here, we got the basmati rice, we have the green chutney, the red chutney, and of course the star of the show, the actual tandoori chicken garnished with some red onion, some green bell pepper, and some white onion as well. So, guys, I'm gonna take a quick bite of this. Or actually, you know what? I mean, let me take a quick bite of this, just to just to sort of in the show here,
Nice.
and then here, let me go get a fork real quick.
This looks amazing. Really nice job he did with this. I'm thoroughly impressed. Um, I've never made tandoori chicken because it looked like it would be difficult to make. Logan makes it kind of look easy in a way, but it's time consuming. And geez, look, I mean, it came out so well.
All right, guys. So let me make sure this is a good angle for you guys. Let me do it like this. All right, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So let's try the rice first. Really good rice. Can't complain.
So I'm curious, what's the predominant flavor that comes out of the rice?
You know, I'm actually getting a lot of the cumin seed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
curious
that's
if
not
that was going to be the case. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So let's take one of our chickens here. And I'm gonna, you know what, let's actually just tear off a little bit of piece here. And let's dunk it into the first into the red chutney. Wow. That is so flavorful. Mm. Now let's do the green chutney. I mean, they're both amazing. I do prefer the red one though.
Okay.
I think it's just got a better flavor to it. But wow, guys, again, this has been a great grill stream. Again, thank you for everybody that has watched this. Again, this was a long one, but again, this is really like the only way that I do it.
Good.
I like when. Oh, you know what? I almost ended the stream
Oh.
without some naan.
Forgot the naan.
How can I forget the naan?
It's essential.
Great, you know, great store-bought naan. You know, again, I didn't make the naan myself, but again, the idea is you use the naan to actually like scoop up the chicken, and then you dump everything into the chutney and everything. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. This has been a really fun one. Mark, thank you so much for joining me today. You know,
it was a good time.
I think it sort of made the stream so much more enjoyable and so much more engaging, right?
Well,
So,
glad.
okay,
Happy to help. It was always, as always, Logan Hall. It's always good to be on a stream with you, chat with you. It's a good deal. It's a good deal for me.
A good deal for you, a good deal for everybody, right?
Yes.
So cool, guys. Well, again, Mark, I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday and your weekend. And I look forward to seeing you next Sunday. You know, I can maybe maybe some during the week too, but
we'll see. It depends, what's going on. But yeah, if it does, if you're on my channel, just subscribe, because you never know when I might just throw up a quick stream. You never know.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And for anybody that's still hanging on, again, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like both my channel and Mark's.
Yeah,
because we both have great stuff. So, anyways, guys, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Awesome. All right, Mark. Well,
Yeah.
again, thank you for joining me. And I'm going to go ahead and do one final sort of a drive-by.
It looks absolutely amazing.
It
looks like you got it in an Indian restaurant. It really
yeah, exactly.
Kudos. Congrats.
Cool. Thanks, man. All right, guys, I'm going to leave the stream and go ahead and end it here. So again, thank you so much for your time, and have a great week ahead. Thanks all.
Thanks, Logan. Boom.